Holy smokes, it's a toy kind of mood at night. Not quite. It's a little early here, actually, on the West Coast. It's 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern. But hey, let's get this Saturday night going, Saturday evening. I hope you're all doing well. PulseCon, sort of our Super Bowl for nerds. That is until Mattel does their own version of a digital launch event like this for the season. But until then, Hasbro holds it down. And I got a special guest today with you. But before that, I got to give a special shout out to the boys at A Toy Kind of Mood, boys and girl. No, he didn't. Jones wasn't able to join, but what a wrecking class crew we had last Wednesday. If you didn't check it out, it's just an awesome show. Just like it was like 8 or 9 different A Toy Kind of Moodians, and they killed it in my absence. I am actually currently doing Mattel Toy Fair. It's been a lot of fun representing WWE, kind of presenting products to retailers and whatnot. So it was terrific to watch all the homies, old and new, get together, talk toys, reminisce of 3 years of A Toy Kind of Mood. And I want to thank all of you for joining us through the last 3 years. It's been quite a ride. And Bobby crushed it as a host, man. That's all I'm saying. He did awesome to try to command all those crazy toy egos we had and their personalities, and love them all. And I hope I can get on the next one next time we get a Royal Rumble group. But first, let me address the comments, and then I'll bring on our guest. Who we got here? And there he is, Vlad, dude. That was the worst part, was not being able to talk to you, man. Like, I mean, I generally get to catch up with everyone there, but on air, talking to you, and you had that killer backdrop, just awesome stuff. Real cool. We got David R. Good evening. Good evening. Yeah, it's an evening. It's crazy doing a toy kind of mood at night. It's probably good I didn't wear like the suit and the talk show host thing going because we're real early. I don't know. I'm beat up from Toy Fair. We get up at 5 in the morning, and sometimes it's an hour and a half in traffic on our way to El Segundo at the Mattel Tower. So man, it's long days, and I had to get my stuff in about Comic-Con, not Comic-Con, PulseCon. And I wanted to go early so I can enjoy the rest of my night just doing nothing, to be honest, just relaxing. So I went a little earlier, and I hope we have some more heads coming in. So, oh wow, look at this. Oh man, Slickalicious, fine Slickalicious, GI Joe. Craig Dukas, man, that means a lot. Thanks. It's good I didn't like F bomb that super chat right off the rip. That means a lot, man. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Happy 3 years, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Now that we got that out of the way, let's bring on my guest at this time. You know him as the guru of toy memes. He's the meme god himself. He is Chaz the Guru.
What's up? What's up?
What it do, man? Thanks for joining me on Saturday. And are we gonna get an unmasking reveal, lucha libre style tonight?
No, but I'm wearing a leotard though, so just wrestler style.
There we go. Then all the more reason to unveil the goods, if you know what I mean. But Chaz, you're a hot topic. Your memes are a hot topic in social media. You kill it every time on the gram. But what's your history with podcasts, YouTube? Because here's the deal, man. You and I have talked, and we start like sending each other little voice messages so we didn't have to type a million things. And man, I was like, this guy's good to talk to, man. And I was always curious about having you on the show. But do you have any history doing this kind of thing?
No, I was on Mega J. Was it 2 weeks ago, or when the night the Ghost HasLab ended? And so he's all, "Hey, man," he sent me a little link. "Hey, do you want to go on my live stream?" And I've never done it before. I'm like, "Ah, man, what the hell, dude? I'll do it." So, also Michael from Toy Habits invited me a couple times, but I was driving and I'm with the fam. So, but yeah, that's cool. I was kind of a little nervous. I never did anything on YouTube before or anything like that. So I was like, oh man. But now that I did it once, it seemed pretty easy. You just log into the StreamYard, and so what the hell.
Beautiful stuff, man. And obviously you follow this stuff close as anyone else, especially when it comes to the Star Wars brands and the GI Joe brands and so forth. But I have to ask, man, because we're not able to see your face. What is this, a thing on a Toy Kind of Mood at Night? We had Bug, and I met him at Comic-Con, so he's not quite a mystery man, but he couldn't go on camera, and now I don't have you on camera. So I guess the show really is all about me, huh, Chaz?
Well, I have to maintain a secret identity, but one of these days I'll pop on, so everyone can see.
Awesome. But before that, I gotta ask, is this you? Are you Tugboat Taylor son, Chaz Taylor?
That's me, man. That's me. Now, I'm actually
Are
Chaz
you
Bono.
serious? That's you, Global Wrestling Federation legend?
No, I'm Chaz Bono, Cher's daughter, son.
Look, I even have your dad upside down ripping through an action figure package. Can you believe that was an exclusive? Because remember the Shockmaster?
What the hell's
You're a Star Wars fan. I figured that would be a fun intro.
That's funny.
Look, we're rocking and rolling. And I mean, here's the deal. Explain this meme, because you're the king of memes, but I like to get the mind behind the science.
Well, so I was watching the stream, right, and I think it was it was the beginning, I think, and Emily was talking in the beginning. Oh yeah, tell us, what you think in the comments. Tell us, and I'm like, really? Do you really want to hear it? Do you really want to hear what people are gonna say? And so I just pictured this, because every time there's a stream, dude, the comments, there's people just freaking railing on Hasbro, this, that, why the hell this repaint, this and that, and I just picture these guys that are just monitoring it, just like, oh my Jesus Christ. So anyway, this picture, because this meme, everyone knows this meme photo. This is what like popped in my head right away. I'm like, these guys, dude, they're gonna be in for it, man. Why are you asking people to comment?
I thought this was the Squid Show, whatever. Is this it? Looks like.
No, I don't know what this is. Isn't that like an Eagles coach or something like that, a defensive coach or something like that? Oh no, I don't really
know, man. I don't know,
but this has been used a lot. This has been used like with the FBI listening to you and discussed. It's a pretty well known meme.
For sure. And before we get into your latest meme, just gonna bring up a couple comments real quick. We got Rat Face Reviews, man. What's going on? You're a big Joe fan. We're gonna talk a lot of Joe, and we'll get into that very thing in 1 second. Why? Vlade, yeah, we thought we were gonna Chaz a real. Trust me, we're all sad. We thought it would be huge for a Toy Kind of Mood. You heard it first and all that stuff, but maybe next time on the sequel. Chaz needs to protect his identity. You got Canadian agents on the hunt. Wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah, Cook Island's gunning for me, dude.
I guess that's the deal. And I appreciate you not cursing until after the 20-minute mark, because I need more 9.99s from some of the super chats. So here's the latest one. I don't know if I don't think it fit all the way in there.
Oh,
I kind of botched that.
It says, I think it says when you talk about Transformers and Power Rangers on GI Joe collectors, when you talk about Transformers and Power Rangers on your live stream.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's what we're doing. Don't worry, we're not talking about the forbidden brands. Hey, lots of love to Transformers. Grew up a mega fan. I collected for a while during the pandemic. Just no room. I didn't continue with Legacy. I do collect Studio Series 86. They didn't, as far as I know, they didn't reveal any Studio Series 86. It was mostly their Legacy stuff. But this Wednesday, there will be a PulseCon aftermath, which will cover PulseCon in its entirety. Tonight, we're going to stick to Star Wars, G.I. Joe, and a little Marvel Legends. Chaz, you're not a Marvel guy, right?
No, I just never got into it. I mean, I don't even remember Marvel when I was a kid, tell you the truth, man. I watched the cartoons, was it the Justice League, so that was DC. I just don't really remember it. I remember some comics, but I don't know, man. Maybe I'm from a different timeline or something. But I grew up 80s, so I was born in 71. So I was like OG Star Wars, and then right from Return of the Jedi, when GI Joe came out, I faced straight in GI Joe, man. Then I was like heavy into GI Joe until I went to high school, and then I still collected it a little bit here and there, And then I swear to God, dude, I do not remember Marvel at all. I mean, I collected some Transformers, but that was when they were metal. So like, you know, I got a Transformer like as an adult, and then like it was plastic. I was like, what the hell's going on here? So, anyways, that was short lived, dude. When I discovered they're all plastic.
One and done. What
Yep.
else we got? We got one of the masters of this Joe YouTube game, Punk with Toys. Lawrence says, "Show your face, show your face, show your face, show
All right.
your face." Oh man!
Wait,
All right. Well,
hey,
maybe at the end of the show.
When Punk shows his boobies on his stream, then I will.
Oh, hey, we got boobies to show during the GI Joe stuff.
Oh,
Vlad
that's
says
right.
no reveal, and you're talking Legends and Kaka Star Wars. Well, hey, I started following Chaz the Guru on Instagram during the height of the Black Series, man. During the pandemic, you know, I was really trying to catch up and buy all the ones I couldn't afford with that free money we got. And man, that's right around the time that 00 Snake Eyes came out at Toy Fair, right before COVID, and then yeah, the rest is history, man. It's all about classified, but we'll still dig into Star Wars. Not like there's a whole lot to say anyway, so we'll be good there. You want to talk some news, Chaz? You provided some stuff on your social media. You want to talk about some of these codes that were found in the system, and I think we had another breaking courtesy of the full force as well. But to cover this one first, and we'll cover that one in a second.
Yeah, you know, these are I think when I've done this one time where the chick in the toy section was cool, and she would look up GI Joe on the thing, and it'll pop out a list. And so I think that's what some people, I know Darren Airborne Customs, he's done the last couple. I think he got this one too, actually. And just pops up some random codes. Now we don't know what these codes are yet, you know, except for Dastardly. Dastardly is going to be Mutton Junkyard. But yeah, so it's just cool, you know, just lets you know that there's more stuff coming to Target, right? More stuff coming in the pipeline, and it's probably pretty soon if it's already in the system. So it's just exciting stuff, I guess, right?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And then the names are funny, Wilma, Barney, Fred, all that stuff. So then we got the Flintstones, and then we want to go over this one because you had literally just sent this to me right before the air. That's why that other meme got cut off. I was kind of like, while I was hitting start live stream, I was literally trying to add these two last second. So shout out to Diagnostic 80, my dude Christopher. He also had a wonderful recap of Joe's stream. Check that out, but wait until you're done with us first. But Chaz, want to go over these leaks or whatever it is we got here?
Yeah. So Mr. McLeod posted on his Full Force Facebook page. So the Walmart exclusives, I think we already know, right? So I already have Shadow Tracker from Gary Return of the Nerd.
Oh yeah, start bragging, buddy.
Yeah. You know,
I didn't get the other half of that drop.
The VIP treatment. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I got my Parth Varma after you, dude. So I got if unfortunately he forgot to ship it in the first box I was getting, and so I didn't get it for like a week later. So you guys all beat me, but that's no big deal. But yeah, so Parth, and so the weird thing is that we thought that, you know, how do we have these figures already, and they haven't even been well. Shadow Tracker, we got the digital render, right? But we've never seen the figure from Hasbro, and Parth was never even revealed, not even a name reveal, nothing, and it just showed up.
The first person to reveal that besides Gary was Bobby B. Where is that jerk? He's like reviewing everything before they even make it. I think he's
That's right,
sleeping Bobby with the factory.
Bobby B's from the future, dude.
Yeah, man.
Now,
there's no way he lives in America.
I talk to Bobby all the time about like him getting the figures and all that. So yeah, he's a cool guy.
Oh, I love Bobby. I give him hell, and I noticed I left a comment on his Shadow Tracker review, the B word. I don't know if I can even say it yet until 20 minutes, but he didn't even like it. He didn't even, at least when I make fun of Baldy Locks, he'll at least give you something else. I mean, come on, Bobby. I'm just messing with you, dude. So, go ahead.
I told Bobby yesterday I was going to copy his channel because we were talking about getting figures first. And I said, I'm going to start my own channel called Chaz's Fighting Field. I'm copy Bobby's battlegrounds. I'm just gonna do everything like him. But nah.
Yeah, just that's the only way to beat him is to join him, right? Before you continue, we got a big time character here leaving a comment. Hey, Mega J Retro
Mega
in the
J.
house.
What's up, Jay?
Hey, yeah, after you mentioned him, oh, I love that that profile picture. That's awesome. Obviously Mega Man, you know, like I wonder if he's a fan of Kenny Omega. But look, Chaz is the faceless one. Yes, he is. And I love the code names this round. So there you go. Yeah, because he got
it's
go
funny
ahead.
though, because I have met, you know, I meet people sometimes off of you know, the Facebook groups or Instagram, so they know what I look like. And you know, I was supposed to meet you, but I on SDCC.
Oh,
But
yeah.
man, dude, I didn't have time. I got there, and then you know, the way parking is, so it took forever to find parking. Finally got there, then I had to go to the Hasbro store because I was trying to get that TVC exclusive Chrysanthemum. So then you had to make an appointment. So I was there. Then my stepson was hungry, so we had lunch, and then we had to rush back to try to get into the Star Wars panel. So yeah, it was really busy trying to squeeze everything in one day. So, but yeah, we'll meet
Yeah,
up.
we absolutely couldn't miss this guy. We couldn't miss this guy for the world. That guy is a god. But we'll talk about Patrick, sweet Patrick, in a second. But yeah, man, that was a long-winded way of saying that you don't want anyone to know who you are. That's fine. I see how it is. Look, is there anything on this list that wasn't we'll make it easier. Was there anything that wasn't revealed at Comic-Con or that we don't have yet? That's probably just a new
so we
leak.
don't know. Look, if you look all the way to the right, there's that Flintstone, Barney, Wilma, Rosie. Those are some new listings that were in the Target, and they're not Target exclusives because Target has like a T something, TH something, I think is a prefix. So those look like just like general releases. And then above that, there's that the HB Blossom vehicle. We don't know what that is. TSM TNS Buttercup, no idea. MM Scooby Doo vehicle, no idea. So we don't know what the MM is either. But MM Shaggy up there is a Techno Viper with the SMS. So that's a lot of new things in there that are on the leaked list, but we don't know what they are yet. And then on the middle one, there's G.I. Joe Retro Gargamel. It says Retro Cobra Commander. So that's probably the
wow, okay.
That might be the the one that we're getting with the Hiss tank, but without the Mickey Mouse logo. It's gonna be probably the regular logo on there.
Right, so. Absolutely. I was going to say the Vamp as one of the others, but I see it that it's there already in the middle, Vamp with clutch. So probably the Ferret then, right? One of those, the vehicles or whatever.
That could be it too. I think Chris said on his live yesterday that one of these was because he said he knew of a motorcycle vehicle with a figure, and then he said, well, that must be the Ferret with some type of figure. So I wonder what figure it is, because the original didn't come with any figure, and it shows.
Yeah, it just had Storm Shadow and stuff, and we'll go over those in a second. But are we good with this list? I think we kind of went in depth. Todd says the Ferret for sure. If you guys in the chat want to add to this and take any wild guess, or you have maybe added news or education about this leak, obviously do it now or forever hold your peace, right? So we got that going, Chaz, and then also in the news of G.I. Joe Classified, I told you guys it's going to be very G.I. Joe Classified. I know the front says PulseCon and all that, but we're mostly doing Classified. Check it out, right? We got this happened. So explain the register. Yeah, the register lock. We got some people finding Flint or not finding it, buying it.
So yesterday somebody posted a photo of the case. I think these are all coming for a case now. All the figures, they're all solid cases, even regular mainline, they're coming for a case. And so somebody showed it on one of those Target U-boats, ripped open, it's showing Vipera. And then other people said they found Flint. And somebody in Facebook posted that they found Flint, the Tiger Force Flint. And I asked them, I said, hey, were you able to check out with it? Is it register locked? And he put that he was able to get it, that it scanned. But Darren, Airborne Customs, he he went in there himself, and he had somebody check, and it was obviously right there. It got register locked. You can't even buy it there. So if you find it, then you're gonna have to scan another figure or something like that, or you're gonna have to wait till October 1st. So I went to a couple stores today because it's pop. You can find these on Pop Finder using the TCIN. And so it's a few stores around me. So I went to 2 of the stores. They wouldn't even bring them out. So they said, "Oh, it's street dated for October 1st, so we can't bring them out." So they must have it must say it really big on the box or something back there, because they're not even bringing them out, even if you ask.
Yep, and a lot of times they'll walk back and check their phone and come back out and say we can't find it, or you know what I mean. It is what it is. Look, Vlad says I wouldn't mind if the ferret came with a trooper. Can never have enough of these. That's absolutely correct. Yeah, so I wouldn't mind that either. But I would want something a little different with the trooper. I wouldn't just. I mean, I wouldn't be angry if I got one, but I would want something a little different, slightly, bit weapons or deco, something different. Punk says the Flint and Python Ninja are all over D-Town, Detroit, the Motor City on Pop Finder, but they won't pull until 10/1. And then Todd says low light Firefly Tunnel Rat available to order and ship from Target right now. Yes, absolutely. So that's good news. Everybody's getting their stuff. Next up,
so that's the photo I was talking about. Yeah, that's the photo I was talking about.
Okay. Oh,
but,
cool.
But,
I was a little late on
back to the ferret though. Back to the ferret.
Sure.
Like with a figure, it would be kind of cool if that trooper had like its own, like maybe like a motorcycle type different helmet or something like that, right? Because it has to be a troop builder, right?
Right. No. Yeah, absolutely. They wouldn't have to, create any crazy new molds or deco. Just add a helmet, and then we're good. We're good to go. That's one way to shut us up, right?
Yeah.
So we'll do that, and then if it's just the vehicle, like Vlad says, that's even better. So we got that. That's Vipra, obviously, and then many of you out there, many of you lucky sons of guns are finding Grunt for $11.99. I know. Shout out to Dave Speck, part of a Toy Kind of Mood. He was on Wednesday. He was finding them. He didn't find enough to hook up the homies, but he is finding them, and so good luck out there, man. I mean, now it's interesting. We'll get into the G.I. Joe reveals and stuff, but there's a troop builder now, so maybe, I mean, these are $11.99s, but I think if they were $24.99, I'd probably just keep Run. But now that $11.99, they're a little more tempting, and you get the steel core helmet and everything. So, but we'll dive into the world of army building with classified in a little bit. But moving on, one more thing. These are also hitting Target. That's a nice looking Darth Vader sculpt there.
Yeah, that one's really cool. I want that one. I don't really know Apo, but he sold out, right? So I guess enough.
Well, people... when we get in a pipeline and all that, we'll talk about army building with Star Wars as well. But man, anytime you see Clone Wars or Stormtroopers, they go fast. So I mean, and then this one is a character as well. So I mean, if they're hitting Target and you can find them, cool. So we're just letting you guys know about that. And then let's get into PulseCon, right? So
hey, but let me step in that Grunt, dude. That helmet, it is awesome, dude. That steel brigade steel core helmet. Yeah, dude. I drove around, dude. I picked up 10 of these things, dude. I had that's right, dude. I got one from I got 2 from Gary Return the Nerd already, but then when they popped up like this, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna, because I think I had 3 on Amazon, and that's like $75 there, right? So I'm like, well, I just cancel my Amazon, dude, and pick up some $11.99 figures. And if you have the red card, it comes out to like, I think $11.40 something a figure, dude. You can't beat that, dude.
That's beautiful, man. And here's the deal with that. I had like one from Pulse coming and one from Amazon that I was in obviously no rush into, because I got one from Gary as well and did the countdown and everything. But then when I saw these $11.99, I canceled those. And like, even if I haven't found them, I just canceled them, because I'm like, I refuse to pay more than $12 for a Grunt now. So it's like, if my buddies find them for me, cool. If I stumble upon them, cool. If I don't find them, it's just Grunt, and I'll use his helmet for something else, and I'll wait for those other troop builders. But yeah, man, PulseCon 2023. Shout out to A Toy Kind of Mood, the other crew. They did a wonderful job previewing it. I put it this way: I watched PulseCon, and then I watched a preview after, and I was still entertained AF. It was awesome, so I had a great time. Look, the show today, as we mentioned, with one of Chaz's memes. In case you're joining us late, it's like, you know, if you're a GI Joe collector and we're talking about Transformers and Power Rangers, you're probably going to do that or just leave. We're, you know, look, no disrespect to those fine brands and all, but we're going to keep it Joe heavy. But we will also talk some Star Wars and Marvel before that. So that said, let's talk about our homie Patrick. Somehow Patrick has returned, right? So like Palpatine, he's returned from wearing, you know, like lots of leather and dusty clothes and
Yeah.
running around pyramids and looking for special artifacts.
Maybe he was cloned, dude. He was cloned. This is his clone.
Yeah, I think he is clone. He's like, this is like the Elon Musk version of Patrick now. He's got like lots of makeup and like dyed, you know, he's trying to get like a Travis Moody haircut going on and everything. So yeah, Patrick is just the only reason to follow Star Wars at the moment. But look, you've been a long time Star Wars guy. I mean, you really, that was kind of just the center of your collection until Classified, right?
Yeah. I started. You know, I started way back. I think it was the Force Awakens when Disney came out with those 7-inch diecast figures. You remember those?
No, not at all.
So
No.
that's what that's what pulled me back into collecting were those figures, right? And so started collecting those, and then I started collecting some of the I got a couple Black Series. I'm like, I don't know, that's plastic, and like I really like the metal ones. And then I just like, oh, you know, I think I like these better because you could pose them better and all that, and you know. So anyway, so I started collecting Black Series, and then Star Wars, they said they were going to return to vintage collection, and I didn't collect in those years, so I didn't have anything. And they had all those like stupid stickers on the old ones, you know, those offer stickers that covered half the picture. And then somebody told me, he's like, hey, you can get those off with some like lighter fluid. He showed me how to do it. I can't believe, oh, you know, he linked me to a video. And so I did my first one. I'm like, oh shit, dude, and I can see the whole thing. So that's what I got into it. And then I was like more into vintage collection than Black Series, but I collect them both. I collect them both.
Okay, so you are, yeah. Okay, I just cut you up real quick. I wasn't entirely sure because you always put saved TVC and a lot. It feels like a little TVC heavy, and I other than a couple of vehicles and stuff, I really haven't dove into TVC too much. I'm mostly, you know, all Black Series. But it's good to hear that you, because I know you do post a lot of Black Series, like, hey, go get this. But it's good to hear about your collection that it's a mix. You'd say you do own more TVC though, right?
I don't know, man. I think it's pretty. You know, I went back and I bought all the old TVC figures. They call 1.0 because that was the first time it came, the first run of it. Bought mostly all of them on eBay, and then so I've been collecting that. So I'm more a completist of TVC than I am of Black Series. And I used to be like all inbox for Black Series, and then I started like, oh man, I want to open some. So then I started buying doubles. So I'd open some, and then, you know, I'd buy a double to open it, and then space became an issue. So then I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna open them all up. So I opened them all up, got rid of my doubles, and now I'm pretty much just all an opener for Black Series. So, but yeah, I collect them. I got the new Jabba. I got the new Chrysanthemum.
Hey, that new Chrysanthemum is pretty awesome, and I want to recommend a review. Mike Case, he's the best in the business when it comes to reviewing Star Wars Black Series. He did a great job, and he even did like he took stills from the Book of Boba Fett and then put them together and said he is accurate height. He showed him with Boba. He put all different angles and everything, and really kind of shut up a crowd that was like whatever, going crazy about the heights because it was shorter than Chewbacca and everything. So that was really cool. They did that. So shout out to Mike Case, trusty sidekick.
I was surprised. I was surprised because, you know, I heard about that, like, oh yeah, it's too small and all that. And if you just look at a picture, you think that it may be because he's so wide, dude. So he looks like he's like kind of like a short guy, whatever. But you put him against other figures, dude, he towers over them still, you know, and he's like thick, dude. This guy, when I opened the box and you know he's wrapped up in that paper was so freaking wide. And the thing is, he's so big, dude. I'm like, wow, but it's an awesome figure. It deluxe price is fair on this thing because he is huge. Yep. He's heavy. He looks awesome. He stands great. I'm happy with it 100%.
Totally agree. Just want to call out a couple comments because we actually had a question real quick. What's up, Philly Jones? He says, "Why was the 11.99 on Grunt? Is it a mistake?" He says, "Hey, look, I'm not complaining. I'm in Philly and I want him again, but it said the street date October 1st." Chaz, you got a comment on that?
Yeah, so it's not. It has to be a mistake because people were asking, "Go, how's that thing on clearance already?" And it's not on clearance, dude. If you scan it, that's the price. It shows up as $11.99. If you go to the Target website and it's sold out, I don't even know if anybody even bought it, if it was even available to buy because it says sold out.
I don't think so. No, my
yeah, because I haven't heard of anybody actually getting it online. But if you even on there, it's $11.99. It has to be a mistake, and I think it's something that they're eventually going to fix. So if you can find them now, dude, I would do it now. Just use Pop Finder and just hound the employees. Bring a torch, bring a pitchfork, get your figures, because when that price changes, dude, you're gonna be freaking sad. That's why, dude, I was like, I'm like, oh, I could wait till they showed up around me, but they weren't showing up around me, and I know they're not showing up around you because they're more in the like the Pomona area. So and I had to go by my work over there anyways. Like, oh shit, I'll go over there, and they were popping over there, dude. I went to 3 stores there and just got my limit, and then I was like, all right, dude, I'm good. If the price changes tomorrow, dude, I'm fine. So
yeah. People are gonna see my collection and go, "Oh, you only got one Grunt," and be like, "Yeah, I didn't get to get it for $11.99, so I'm being stubborn." So, hey, what's up, David? David Warren, what's going on?
Hey.
We got Payne's Toy Samples.
What's up, Payne?
He's live, but he's saying hi. That's amazing
thanks,
dedication
dude.
when you're doing a live and you still say hi. I've never been able to do that.
Awesome.
That's amazing. Hey, hi everybody. El Magico. Cool. El Magico. Okay, cool. And then Philly says thank you. Okay, cool. Let's move on. We'll go quickly through Star Wars. Our collection started mostly Star Wars on Black Series. He's TVC and Black Series, but we got to at least cover this horrible, terrible panel. So let's do it right away. TVC, talk to me about this. Are you going to pre-order this, or what's the deal with these
Yeah,
two?
I'm gonna pre-order it, but here's the deal. Like, I think it's like a dangerous thing that they're doing now. I love that they're carded because I'm a carded collector. I don't open my TVC. I keep everything on card. I keep the vehicles, everything in box, and I love the cards. So these cards are cool. I don't know who the guy on the left is. I don't play the video games, but I got the Black Series Jedi Revan. I think is freaking one of the best figures out there. So I'm glad they did this with the Revan. But here's the deal: so when they put these two together in a box, like they did with there's a one that's, I think is it a Target exclusive? It's a Jedi Duel or the showdown between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan from the Kenobi series. And that's also like a 2-pack, but it's in a box carded like that. But they're charging you $40, right? So they're charging you're paying a $6 tax to get these things in that box. I would rather just buy them individually and save $6. So I don't know why they're really doing that.
Why? I got two words for you: Disney and Lucasfilm. So that's the answer to your. Genghis is using some of your famous hashtags.
That's right.
TVC, fight for TVC. We want to say hi to a couple good friends here. DJ 5-Ash, what's going on? And this was funny. You could probably grab a torch and pitchfork from Target, so that kind of worked. And man, this chat is full. Yeah, go ahead. What was that?
I was gonna say you can probably get the torch on clearance in the garden section because summer's over.
Nailed it. We got a chat full of legends here. What's up, mother bitches? Murad Rubin says so. And he missed the intro. This show is going to be all classified, minus a couple of Star Wars and Marvel things. We got to stick it to the mouse. That's what we're here for, man. We can't just kiss butt the whole time. We got to complain and cry and act like we're cool YouTubers. You know what I mean? So that's what we're doing. So anyway, you're gonna grab these, and then next up, let's go quick. Let's go a little quicker through these.
Okay.
Mine, but we got We don't
Yeah,
want
that's
people
cool.
like Marauder going to bed because we're talking
Yeah,
Star
dude.
Wars. We need to,
Hey, Marauder Rubin has his razor blade ready to if we continue with the Star Wars any longer. So yeah, I like the
yeah,
chopper. That's a pretty cool one. But they didn't have really many reveals, right? So
yeah.
I guess
No,
this had more than Black Series. We'll go to Black Series, but yeah,
they had
next one.
like nothing. They had nothing for reveals for either one. I don't know, and it was such a long. I don't even know what they were even talking about. And then I felt so
Yeah.
badly. As a presenter at Toy Fair, I get nervous after a minute if no one's really reacting to what I'm saying. If I don't hear like a laugh or any interaction, I get nervous. But man, that girl, she was nervous the whole time. I felt really bad. It was her first time. What was her name? Perth, right, or something? But good
Yeah,
looking
yeah, yeah,
girl.
yeah.
She from marketing, but man, that was rough. That was really rough. And
I,
I don't even know if they should at least let her practice a little bit or something. You know what I
hey,
mean? So
I think the Star Wars fans ran Jean out of the. Out of the team. She doesn't want to show up anymore. Probably ran around in the comments or something, dude. So they had to have her come in for
oh,
Jing.
oh, oh yeah, Jing probably gave up. So hey, look, Dave
Uh,
Speck is here. He's here now, so
all
we can
right.
all just relax. We can all relax. All hail Speck. And yeah, this is exactly he just reiterates what I said. Black Series felt bad for that girl and the reveals were weak. You're not kidding. All right, so we got a
Yeah.
little bit of chopper. This chopper's really, really good for TVC though. I heard some people saying this is a lot better than Black Series. What do you think?
Well, yeah, the Black Series is you can't tilt the head or anything like that, but I don't know. It's chopper's chopper, I guess. But yeah, it looks nice. I don't open them up, right? So I don't really care about like all the articulation stuff. I just care about if it looks good in the package, and then that's about it. I don't care about like rocker ankles and all that stuff that the openers care about. Like if I was an opener, yeah, because if I open 6-inch uh, Black Series and Joe's, so yeah, that's important to me, but not on TVC.
Pumpkin Spice R2. I like that. Cool. Very, very cool. Vlad says, I believe her name is Perth. You guys can correct that, but Perth looked like my first time I was on a toy kind of mood. So, hey, we all get it. Genghis says if they come back with great movies, the merch will move. Yeah, yeah,
That's true.
that's a great point. It's what my roommate says all the time. He says the Star Wars stuff is not doing well for Hasbro because there's no movies right now for Star Wars and the show merch just doesn't move as much. So and speaking of shows, Ahsoka, we got Professor Yuang, David Tennant on the
It looks
voice.
awesome, man.
Yeah, it looks very cool. You want to take us through this one?
Yeah, just looks really good, really good detail. I want to see what the card looks like. They said they don't have the card ready yet, but I thought I saw a card. So did they? I think they may have come. Did they already show the one for the retro collection? That's the 5 POA one. So maybe I thought I saw it there, but if it is, then that's the same card. But yeah, it's awesome looking figure. The Black Series one looks awesome. I ordered that one right away. So
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, it's one I won't deny for sure. And then we have director Krennic.
yeah, and that one only took what? How many years to get from? Like that's my main gripe, and that's the gripe of a lot of the collectors that And you'll see in the pipeline that they revealed were just all like like repaints and like maybe some minor changes. Let's see, really easy stuff for them to do on the cheap. And then we don't get like main characters forever, right? So when did Rogue One come out? We finally get the main villain, right? That's nuts.
It's yeah, it's ridiculous, but kind of with my time at Toy Fair Mattel, I'm starting to learn a lot behind the process of the business. A lot of the stuff that collectors don't know, and I won't say any names, but basically we're gonna get to Marvel in a little bit, but they finally got some figures, yeah, after several years too, same deal. And I talked to someone actually who's direct in that, and they were just they were kind of upset that it took so long for this to come out, and a lot
Yeah,
of
but
it
we don't.
just is above even if you're like high up, there's always someone higher up than you. That's what people don't even if you're a VP, you have a CEO. It's just you guys don't really realize sometimes the paperwork that goes through whenever is a name, a likeness, a license, an actor like this, and it's really brutal. You know what I mean? And I know fans are, we're impatient. That's what we do, and And yeah, it stinks when a movie or 2 years, whatever it is. I mean, this is ridiculous. Rogue One. This is a far worse situation than No Way Home, right? I mean, it's
Yeah,
just
we don't have Krennic from Beckett from Solo, or Dryden Voss, or Kira. This is like some main
yeah.
characters of these movies. But we know the playbook, right? They need at least a twofer out of a mold. So now that they have the officer body that they came out with, they did the Imperial officers from Star Wars. So now they do that. Now they're going to start, doing stuff like this. So now we can get it, and you'll see in the pipeline that they did one on the cheap when they're doing the Imperial officer Jedi Survivor dude. And so they just using the mold from the officer mold they just came out with, and just slapping a new head on it. Or I don't even know, maybe it's not a new head. I don't even know.
Yeah, it could just be some paint deco stuff. Oh, we got a couple comments here. The slow trickle of Black Series and vintage collection are fine. If they were turning out toys like the Saga Series days, I'd be done since I collect multiple lines. So some people are okay with this slow
Yeah, it's
trickle, but
hard,
then
man.
but then you lose interest too. So it's a hard meeting. Hope the MTG presenters don't go back and read the comments during their time slot. Yeah, that might be the problem. Is that they see it and then they get upset. Love the Joe stuff, but it's flooding. Yeah, well, I
Yep.
mean, feast or famine, right? And then Ruben says they don't understand. Okay, so we'll move on from that. And so speaking of uh, you know, villains and all this stuff, like man, that was TVC, but Black Series, before we even show what they showed, because they showed nothing. Where is everyone? When you have villains or characters that at least look like this, we didn't get a whole lot
Yeah.
from Eunuch, but I mean, come on. We got Captain Eunuch. I mean, this should have just been a name only. Even if they don't have a picture, they could have used this picture for their pipeline or something and just said, hey, pipeline. That even if it's coming out in 2 years,
Yeah.
give us a pipeline. We just all watched that episode, and they could have even said, hey, if you haven't watched the episode of episode 6 of Ahsoka or something like that, like don't watch the pipeline, or they could have done something, but to just have all those international, and we'll get a pipeline in a minute, but man,
Yeah.
where was Black Series Ahsoka? Where was all this cool stuff from episode 6?
Yeah. So I guarantee that anyone that collects Star Wars TVC or Black Series, when they saw Enoch turn around, dude, they're like, dude, I want that, man. I gotta have that. And it looks so freaking
Exactly.
awesome. The way he talks, you're like, oh, dude, this one is freaking killer, dude. They should have had
And
that.
then we have the Night Troopers. I mean, look, these are money makers right here. You just
Yeah, dude.
how hard is it to put a crack, a little bit of paint, little gold paint, little gold trim, little bit of cracks, and a little bit
Hey,
of battle damage, and boom,
it
it's
should,
just a repaint, and people would eat these up and buy 20.
it could be sponsored by Flex Seal, dude. They're all cracked and
Yeah.
taped up and glued back together. But yeah, so yeah, these are really cool. But I mean, how are you gonna do that? They could probably just make one of them, or I don't know, because they all look different. They all look like they have like some duct tape on their legs, and but yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, it'd be cool if they had actually had, like, that's a great point, like a 2 or 3 pack of these, and we both have like a little bit of different paint apps to it, and paint apps
Yeah,
cost a lot of money. Everyone thinks it's like molds, and it's paint apps is actually where a lot of the money goes to. So
yeah. Just put the
maybe
cracks.
you know
Yeah, just paint the cracks different spots, and a little bit of like wear showing in different places, and just use the same mold, right? So
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm currently having an interesting discussion with a fellow marketer, our brand manager or whatever at Mattel about this, and learning a lot. And yeah, they don't understand it either. So that's the craziness. If he had an answer, even though they're on the opposing toy companies, it was like, oh well, this is the reason. Then I'd be like, oh okay, that's amazing. But they're just as baffled why you get, like, you want to have a Vader in your pipeline or a Mandalorian, but to not even mention any of these at all. I mean, look, you have
oh
This Is
yeah,
Money too, Night Sisters, right?
totally,
You got
dude, totally.
what is that, like Lachesis, Clothao, Actropah, it's a money. That's a 3-pack exclusive, pulse only, made to order. You don't have to worry about, the shelf warming thing and all that. Just do it. But nope, nope. It just, I don't know. Lucasfilm could be holding them down as much as Disney. Who knows whose role this is,
Yeah, you know what? It has to be Lucasfilm, right? Because I don't collect Marvel, but I know when I go to the store, I go to Target, and there's a movie that's just coming out, or even I think with the Doctor Strange before it came out, he had the freaking figures on the shelves already, right?
Yep. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah. It's wacky
it has to be
how.
Lucasfilm.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say it's wacky how some movies, Thor. I don't know which one. Well, I don't know if it was Ragnarok or it was the one, but Love and Thunder. But we had, I think both of them. We had figures before. I think like Shang-Chi, we definitely had figures before. So yeah, it could
Yeah.
be a Lucasfilm thing because Marvel has stuff before, and then Star Wars has stuff many, many galaxies after.
Yeah, it's weird and it kind of sucks, and I'm sure it sucks for the Hasbro people, the team, I mean they're hearing it every time, right? They're hearing like, why don't we get these
Yeah.
figures when the movie's up? Why don't we get this? Why is it taking so long? So I'm sure they're sick of hearing it, but they
Well,
can't.
this guy's smart. This guy's smart, Chaz. Dave Speck. He says I wasn't super excited because I knew they wouldn't announce them. So I guess you went in being the only smart one because we're all crying.
I
What is Zombie Fort, Chaz? Do you know what that is? Are they like a zombie fort?
A zombie fort. I have no idea what that is, dude.
Yeah, I
No
don't
idea.
know. Okay. Imagine the Black Series role play version of the Enoch helmet. Oh my goodness. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
dude.
and
Hey,
we got a fun.
that could have
Yeah,
been a Halloween. That could have been licensed and out for a Halloween costume, right?
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I know. I think they're too worried about spoilers and not making money off merchandise. So, I don't know what it is. So, what else we got? Yeah, the paint app.
Repackaging.
I love that repackaging. And then we have they'll announce these at Comic-Con next year. Yeah, when no one cares about Ahsoka anymore. That's
Yeah,
usually what happens. I mean, Shop Disney exclusives. Yep. Yeah, I love that. Shop Disney, anything Star Wars, Shop Marvel, Shop Disney with Hasbro Pulse. Uh I've said made to order many times to avoid peg warming and losses. Yeah, but a lot of times when Target and Walmart signs that check, Mattel and Hasbro go, cool. You know what I mean? Like after that, it's up to
yeah, they
the
don't care after
retailer.
that, dude.
No, it's up to the retailer, guys. No Way Home made sense that it took a while. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And I find, and they're not happy. Like everyone's like, oh, about time, Dan, and all this. Like Dan, we'll talk about Marvel. It's like Dan, Ryan, and Dwight have no say in when these figures come out. You think they want to release them 2 years later? They're fans. That makes no sense. And then, COVID related. There you go. Thank you. Appreciate
Yeah.
that. Priya. Oh, Priya. What did I say? Perth? I'm like thinking about Parth Bama.
Parth
Parth Bama.
Varma.
Hey, I was like the second person in the world to review that. And if we don't count Bobby B, I'm first because we shouldn't even count him because he reviews everything
Hey,
first.
Bobby cheated, so you're first.
Bobby, yeah,
we're taking away his win.
He eBay cheated. All right, so we got Jesus Ezra.
That's right, dude.
This could have been
Moses.
revealed somehow.
Hey, somebody put this guy next to, was it the Ten Commandments? And they
Oh
look
yeah, I
the
put
same.
that in. That's in our stories if you want to look
Oh
on a Toy Kind of Mood.
shit,
Yeah,
dude.
it's fun.
That's freaking hilarious, dude. But it's true, man, dude. It seriously looks like a Jesus biopic, dude. Oh man, but yeah,
Oh,
that's
that's
cool.
awesome.
I never really watched Rebels, so I watched a few of the first episodes, but I don't know. To me, it's hard for me to watch cartoons. You know,
Yeah.
I watched. I can watch the Bad Batch because it's better animation. So, but like if you watch the early stuff and even the early Clone Wars, it's just I don't know. It's too kiddie for me. So I
Yeah.
really don't know too much about all these characters from Rebels.
Yeah, and we had a full episode on Rebels. It was Spec and Bobby and whatever, but I don't want to go too deep into that. But I will say this: it's like anything nowadays. When people recommend you a show, they're like, "Oh, after the first season, it gets better." I mean, to be honest, Star Wars Rebels was like for kids in the first season, and then they probably found out that it was like people like us watching it, so they were like, "All right, let's get an angry Vader killing people," and you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
it
Oh,
became
you
an
spoiled
adult
it, dude.
cartoon.
You just
Yep.
spoiled it. Thank you, dude.
Yep, that's actually not a spoiler. All right, so I think he was talking about the night troopers being a zombie force, and so
Oh yeah,
Spec
yeah,
says they appeared to be loading coffins onto a star destroyer. So there you go.
yeah. Somebody on one of the YouTube Star Wars things was opining that maybe they're like zombies are being kept alive by the dark magic of the witches. So Could be.
He said Ezra's the one dividing the toy community. That's fun. Chaz, just watch the last season. That there you go. Just watch the last season.
All right, Jay, I will.
The final season. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Let's get into what they did reveal. It wasn't a whole lot, but it was a twofer. It was our Dark Jedi. What's up?
I said 2 whole figures. Woohoo!
2 whole figures at Hasbro's version of the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Star
amazing.
Wars, probably the biggest, most gigantic IP on the planet, right?
Yep.
And I mean, if it's not Star Wars, it's Marvel. And they announced 2 freaking figures to the line that sells, that sells the most. They even did a poll, and 66% were like,
yeah.
I'm 60 or 70% were like, I'm the most interested in seeing what the reveals were, and they gave them 2 freaking figures.
Yeah, nuts, dude. I mean, they look awesome. Like Balin looks freaking awesome. He looks awesome, but where's the robe, dude? He should have came with a robe.
No robe, but the sculpt does look good. The more you start looking around at this sculpt, it looks good. But yep, no robe. And then, what do you think of this lightsaber? Because when I went and actually watched the panel, they did mention that it's more orange than usual. But when just looking at these pictures, it looks red. And then I think like I had a couple of testy Facebook comments that were like, "Oh, it's gonna be orange and it's the colors and all that." So I don't know. What do you think? Do you think we're gonna get like the authentic orange blade, or is this red and they're just what's the deal?
I hope, man. I mean, it looks red to me on there, so I don't know, man. It's supposed to be an orangey-ish color, but we'll see when we get it, I guess. But if it looks like that, it's gonna be disappointing, but. The figure looks awesome, and it looks just like him, so I'm giving him that. It looks great.
Mm-hmm. Let's catch up with some comments here. More witches in the coffins. At least they weren't Lando. Hey man, that Lando, that's like the biggest shelf warmer in the world. That's an excellent figure. They just made like way too many, but poor Lando.
All the Landos, though, dude. All the Landos are peg warming. I got this one in this Target in Costa Mesa. Dude, they have every freaking Lando of TVC Black Series peg warming at least like 5 deep or more.
They should get Billy D. Williams over there to start signing some of those figures, get rid of them, right? So dude, that might be one. That might be one way to do it and give him some bucks. I pre-ordered Skull because Ray Stevenson is a badass. Otherwise, I would have skipped him. Yeah, sure. Captain Enoch was genuinely creepy. I agree with that. Yeah, for sure. What else we got going on here? I may add this sculpt to Firefly as a tribute. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Even though he's got a big Santa beard, but that's still pretty cool. We got Mega J Retro says, so biggest question of the stream. If they can keep Sabine and Chopper on the mural cards up for a week, why not make every pre-order for a week so everyone can get one?
Yeah, that's one of the arguments about pre-orders, right? So who knows? Who knows what they do? Their decisions sometimes are so stupid. You know, like what was that one? I think wasn't the General Lando the one that's peg warming, and they announced the case, or no, they didn't announce the case. Yak Face had it and showed it 2 per case. I said, dude, what are they even thinking, dude? This thing is gonna peg warm so freaking hard. If me, just some dummy on the internet, knows that, how the hell do these people getting paid to do it don't know that, right? So they make these weird ass decisions. So who knows, man? Who knows, Jay?
I'm sorry, I have no answers. Just like, who knows what goes on the minds of the Mouse House, and then get it for the head scope. Retirement home Firefly. It looks orange to this. It looks orange to this Cobra Viper. Oh, hey, that's because you're not a Crimson Cobra Viper. If you're a Crimson Cobra Viper, you're like, hey, I got a lightsaber that matches. They said it was going to be orangey, but nope. Yeah, exactly. I don't see anything orange about that. Like I'm wearing a red shirt, and look, you see it. Compare that lightsaber to me right now. It is the same color.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, I guess we're all colorblind.
Hey, Trav, I'm going to build on that. So you can do the retirement Firefly, and you can get the wheelchair from Professor X, right? And then now you can kit bash him. Total retirement, wheelchair and everything.
Dude, that is going to happen on your page. but probably not for a long time because you're probably not getting this Balin figure unless you get it from Gary. All right, cool. Let's move on to the one other pre-order they had, and it was his apprentice, Shin Hati or Haiti, whatever. You guys can correct me on that. I'm kind of torn on this one because if you look really close, the face sculpt isn't bad, but it isn't great. She looks like she's kind of stoned, but then again, she looks like she's kind of stoned on the show anyway. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's an all right figure. But you know the weird. I don't know if maybe it's just me. I don't think she's a good actress or she's good for the part. Or I don't know. To me, I don't know the bangs, whatever, man. It doesn't do it for me on the thing. I'm like, as a character, I'm not like really drawn to her on the show. So maybe that's maybe I'm the only one, but that's how I feel about that. So maybe that's why I'm like whatever on the character on the figure.
Sure. The one thing I want to ask is, and I know Mike Case did point this out. You said, "Oh, they have the figures out," but I never saw Balin and Shin next to each other. I'm worried they're not in scale because she's a lot shorter than Ray on the show, right?
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And so I was thinking they should have tunnel ratted her. You know what I mean? Like
well,
put her in
depends.
scale.
Depends how much reuse they did, right? Because if they're using legs from somebody that's not that short, then she's going to be taller. I think that's usually where the out of scale things happen is because they're using like other legs that are just from a normal size figure, you know. So, but she's wearing that thing. They could have chopped it off at the thighs. I don't know, man. Who knows? We'll see, I guess.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see. Okay, and then there's the box art. But yeah, I mean, if you look at the box art, right? She's got a really good face, and yeah, that sculpt doesn't really do it justice. And I think because of her hairstyle, if you do add the robe, then that it would make it kind of a badass character. Honestly, at this point, what are they, $24.99? I mean, if they were just like, hey, look, the robe, the cost of the robe is too much and all this stuff, and they wanted to charge me $27.99, and they were honest about it, I'd be a lot happier getting that robe. Because if you try to buy one on eBay, what are you going to pay 10, 12, 15 bucks for it anyway? So I mean,
100%. Yeah, 100%. That
I
should
mean,
be an option.
I'd be okay with it. People would complain, and they have every right to, but it would be like, hey, because here's at the end of the day, they have to pay Lucasfilm, they have to pay Disney, they have to pay this actress. Like, they don't make any. I can't see them making too much money on these figures compared to like Joe per figure. So
They
it's
have to
like,
pay they have to pay the children in the factory. Come on, dude. There's a lot of cost.
yeah,
A lot of cost
exactly.
involved.
Exactly. And then yeah, Chaz isn't wrong. She's not being utilized well on Ahsoka. Bowl of spaghetti on her head. Yeah, I mean, pretty much. There's no detail in that hair at all. And yeah, these guys are fighting over prices already. So okay, let's move on. And it was another look at her. Yeah, I don't know, man. It looks kind of stiff, and I just don't. It's not bad. And if you're gonna get Balin Skoll, you kind of have to get her apprentice, but I don't know. I see this as clearance all over it to me. Is it fan channel or is these Target Walmart too?
I think they're main line.
Okay, their main line, but this one says clearance all over. I think Ray Stevenson's flies. DJ Mr. McFly, what up, dude? What up?
Yo.
What's going on? Good to see everybody checking in with us on a toy kind of mood at evening. Okay. Because there was only Black Series figures. Let's run through this really quickly so we can talk about the other stuff. But just some premium role play. You got a quick comment on the Sabine Saber here?
Lame.
There you go. Okay, and then this is cool. Rex gets a helmet. I think it's nice.
It's cool. I don't collect helmets, but it looks cool. If you collect helmets, I'm sure you'd probably be excited for it.
Right. So yeah, I don't have, even with a man cave, I don't have room for this. So gotta have room for the his tanks and stuff. So but anyway, it looks cool. I do think it's really nice. If you collect helmets, you gotta be thrilled. So
yeah,
we'll leave it at that. And then what was the deal with this archive wave? That was a long drawn out thing from our gal there, Pariah, whatever her name is, and then it was like
Pariah.
I mean, come on. I'm sure I'll get corrected in the chat again, but guys,
I would have brought some tequila or something. We could have done a drinking game every time you effed up her name. We had to drink.
Usually on a toy kind of
Take a
move, you
shot.
just kind of get shit faced, but I can't see you, so you can be lying about drinking all night. So
Oh
I
shit,
just got
dude.
water, man. You know, I
Dude,
just
that's
got water.
hilarious.
But
Well,
dude,
next
after
time,
seeing this, after remembering her explanation about this international
oh
only,
shit, dude.
oh man, I want to drink myself.
I know, dude. It was such a long thing. Oh, we're for new collectors, casual. I mean, how many different euphemisms did they use to explain why they're putting out more repacks? Right? They're finding new ways and new terms to call repacks something else. But yeah, these are repacks, and I guess they're
Is
only
it
outside the
Priya?
U.S. Pardon me?
Is it Priya like Prius or Priya? I want to make sure I get it right.
I think
No,
it's
she
Priya,
seems like a
right?
nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
Priya. Okay,
I think the
she's
Indian.
really
I think the Indian pronunciation is Priya.
Priya. She's really cute and she's nice, and I'm sure
Uh,
she's going to be really great. And I would rather have her in the future than Patrick. But you know, I just I'm not making fun of her. I'm making fun of this whole
yeah.
team. It's just atrocious what they're doing.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
I did all those memes with Patrick, you know, and it was nothing against Patrick personally. He's just the face of it, right? And he's like, and
Yeah.
he's kind of like robotic about it. So he's just the face of the Hasbro Star
Oh,
Wars team. So all those memes are just. So, anyways, that's nothing personal against him, but he just gets it because he's the face of the team.
oh man, that video I saw. I think you shared that video, right? He just
Oh,
took like man, that
hilarious!
was brutal. That was brutal. All
Oh,
right,
dude,
let's move on.
I have to share that one.
Yeah, that was a good one. All right, look, we got this is an exclusive. I want to know in the chat if anybody, I don't think anybody in the chat bought this. Now, I'm gonna take a guess and say nobody bought this because we're all waiting for Star
PowerCon.
Killer in the main line or Gaming Greats, right? Is that the deal?
Yeah,
Galen
you know,
Merrick.
like it's 100, what, 111, 110.99.
$111 and
Dude, that is nuts.
no thanks.
You know, it's cool, and I really do like
Very
all the
cool.
force effects, the different heads. I'm like whatever on the packaging, you know, and I would open up anyways. I'm not really collecting inbox for Black Series anyways, but I don't need 2 more stormtroopers.
No, this is, I mean, what would be a good price for this? I mean, even at $80, I don't know if I do it, even though I think that's a fair $79.99 is like a fair price, right? Because you got
You know what would
all the
be, you know
stuff.
what would have been, sorry, you know what would have been cool is if they did it like the Emperor Amazon exclusive, the $50 one, and his, you know, when he was in his chair with the extra faces and the force lightning hands. You know, they should have made it smaller where you got some extra heads, the force lightning, and put it in a smaller box, you know. But it was a cool display box too. But you know, $50 or maybe $60 now because of inflation. But dude, $111 is a lot to ask when you're just putting 2 more stormtroopers in there, man.
Yeah, this one is gonna digital warm for a while until they have one of those pulse sale blowouts.
Yeah, like
in my opinion. All right,
PowerCon or whatever the hell they're called.
exactly. So before we move on to our next segment, I got to ask you how many whiskeys we doing for this amazing Star Wars panel at PulseCon?
Dude, that's like a one whiskey maybe.
One whiskey. Oh
Yeah.
man. Woo!
Are you even giving a whiskey?
Even the Jersey Maniac Collector gave it a D. I was like, how did he not go F? I'm gonna have to give it. Because of the pipeline, which I totally forgot to put in here, but it wasn't much, right? It was just it was like what was the pipeline? Was Darth Vader, New Hope. It was the Mandalorian for the 17th time, and it was a Phase 2 trooper, and it was a Night Owl trooper. That's what it was for Black Series.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying about the pipelines. They're all just like easy repaint kit bashes, and even I think the Darth Vader is just a New Hope, just a straight repack or re-release or something, right? And that was pretty weak. I you know, I won't even give it a whiskey. I'll give it a 1 pop off vodka shot. the cheapest ass vodka that guarantees you a freaking headache the next morning. That's what I'm giving it.
Yeah, the chat is killing it. We got like the bottle was empty. You got half a shot. I'm just gonna go one whiskey, man. I haven't gave anything one whiskey in a long time, and yeah, it was bad. This is, look, at the end of the day, this is your Super Bowl. It was live, so it wasn't like they pre-recorded it and then episode 6 happened and they didn't have enough time like that, I would totally get it, right? You're like, they're a week behind and they were live. They were
Yeah,
live,
dude.
so they had plenty of time to get all, like, give us some stuff to excite us, and they gave us nothing to excite us. It sounded like a bunch of excuses. And yeah, there's some people thinking that this line might not last. Star Wars, I don't know how long the contract is, but man, it's not looking good over there. So
maybe, I mean, is the license killing them? You know, the cost of the license. I mean, it's just you're getting less and less. That Morgan Elsbeth Black Series, nothing, dude. No accessory. You just get her in a freaking box, dude. That's it. And you know, in some of the paint apps you're seeing them, they look like they're not even paint apps. They're like, it seems like they're printing it in a colored plastic, and they're not even doing a wash on them. And so they come off looking like really cheap because of that, right? So I don't know, man. It's the dark times, dude. You're gonna be telling your kids about this.
Yeah, it's the dark times when the Dark Jedi have no detail whatsoever. You know, it's kind of like there's such cool characters on the show, and then it's like, well, I guess I'll buy them because there's nothing else for us to buy. So yeah, anyway, let's move on from one part of the Mouse House to the other. But look, we're gonna talk most of Marvel Legends on Wednesday with the gang. But I put a lot of work into the slides until I realized that I should have had it mostly on Wednesday. But I'm gonna do a super speed round of Marvel because Chaz, you don't collect Marvel Legends, right?
Nope, not at all, man.
There you go. There you go. All right. So here we go. Super fast Marvel Legends. Look, I thought they did a great job with the panel. Here's from their designer, Dwight Stahl. He shows that they have the white antennas for Giant Man. So they are including that. They are also including removable, customizable eyes, dude. That is incredible. I know they did go halfway over. I don't know what the numbers are right now on this. Maybe you could look it up or someone in the chat, but on the Hasbro Pulse, and we'll get you a current number, or maybe someone in the chat just let us know what's the current number on this bad boy, on this HasLab Giant Man. But look at that. I think it went over the halfway mark. So good stuff.
Yeah, it looks cool. I mean, for $200, I mean, I don't know. I don't collect Marvel, but it seems like a lot of people are happy with it. But then it kind of stalled out on the backing.
Look how awesome this looks. This looks incredible. This looks like a sideshow collectible hot toy, which is kind of essentially what it is, but it's perfectly in scale. You know, at 2 feet, it's perfectly in scale for Marvel Legends. So I really hope it gets backed. It's gotten mostly positive reviews. I know there's a little bit of a stall, but you know, we had Boog on from ACBA, and we did a really great review on that. So hey, go check it out. And we got a number here. 5068 of 10K. So we're over halfway point. They still got 3 weeks left. I think it'll happen. And yeah, there's people that don't collect Marvel that want it. So
what you know what? What do you think about that? As a collector, what do you think about the tiers? Because they're not any figures, right? They're just those swap.
Right, but I think if they included figures, which I thought maybe they should have. I thought maybe they should have included, like a classic yellow jacket or wasp or something like that. But once you do that, you bump up the price. I think $199 with our current economical state, and the fact that they gave you, you're going to get the plates if you get to, 14,000 or whatever it is, 16,000. But the removable plates and removable head. Yeah, maybe a figure could put this over, but maybe that's what it'll come down to. They want to see how it goes, and maybe with a week left, if the numbers really aren't moving. I hate saying that because then everyone's going to sit, wait, and not back it. But I think this is something that, should be supported. It really is. Like, they listened. They didn't give us another vehicle. When you think vehicles, you think Star Wars, you think G.I. Joe. You don't really think Marvel, right? I mean, there's cool vehicles to do. But when it comes to Marvel and dream projects like this, Galactus, Sentinel, this fits right in. I think $199, that was their goal, was $199. And they're giving us all they can for it.
You backed it,
right? I will. Yeah. So I haven't yet, but now I'm going to have the show because otherwise I'm a hypocrite. So, but yeah, I think both my roommate and I both want to get one, and then maybe use the other one for to pay for it, maybe. So we'll see what happens. Okay, cool. So that's on the Giant Man there. Thank you for the updates. And look, we'll run through this wave really quickly. I think this is a cool Build-A-Figure. What do you think, Chaz? Of the Void, Dark Sentry.
It looks pretty cool. It looks very complicated.
I know, right? Look at that thing.
Yeah. I have no idea what that is, but it looks cool.
Yeah, so I have the story about it right here in the slides, and I just wanted to show you guys some looks. Comparing the last Build-A-Figures in the Marvel Legends to this one, I mean, this one really stands out. I love the translucent. They explained why they went translucent, and it's because of this, because of the lighting. There's some comic shots, and it's basically the Sentry, who's kind of the messed up evil, mental Superman version of Marvel. They play that copycat game, turns into the Dark Sentry. I'm sure someone in the chat will have a much better explanation, but it's been forever since I've read these comics. But man, this explains why you're getting that translucent plastic to it. But man, it looks nice, and I love that it captures what happened in the comic with Dark Sentry. So there he is. There's a Sentry on the right,
Oh,
and
that's pretty cool.
there's this form on the left. And the Sentry was a Walgreens exclusive that ended up on clearance. So I'm sure a lot of people were able to get it. And now having the Sentry with this Build-A-Figure wave would be really cool. And then there's the wave. I think it's a fun wave. And look, classic window packaging,
Yeah.
everybody. It's back, right?
Yeah.
So Marvel seems to be like the first to do it. This
Yeah.
wave goes on sale October 3rd at 1 o'clock, and I'll run through it really quickly. As you can see, these were all revealed at Comic-Con. Some of us probably in the chat saw this live and in person. And there's everyone's like, look, finally a good Wonder Woman figure that's not Mezco or Mayfax or whatever. But yeah, this is Princess Power. She's basically Mephisto's simulacrum. She went by the name Zarda, and she was in Squadron Supreme, which is pretty much Marvel's version of the Justice League, So really, really cool stuff. You got Justice from New Warriors, a vintage Vision, which has been high on
That's
a lot of
cool.
people's lists since we have a lot of MCU versions. And Crystar, we went to in depth during our Comic-Con reveal, kind of like they saw the popularity of He-Man. It's a deep cut back in the day, Masters of the Universe. So they have in the kingdom of the Crystal Skulls here with Crystar. So really cool, translucent character, a lot of detail. And then you got Savage Namor. Now looking at this thing, I'm like, man, no wonder we got an Aquaman in the movies that looks like this guy, right? They just keep copying each other left and right. So I'm like, yeah, that could be like Jason Momoa as Namor. And then Namorita, really pretty, really cool. You could see the tats on the legs and everything. So cool wave, cool figures.
Cool.
Another Black Panther, but at least it's a comic one, and we haven't gotten this version yet. So really love the yellow, kind of just pops out of the eyes and the accents and the different bracelets and jewelry and everything. It's a really cool, and this will have, like they mentioned, this will have the Vulcan buck, which is the new Bucky Barnes. So pinless, it will have all that amazing articulation that the Bucky Captain America has and everything. So you could really pose this guy out, and this T'Challa looking really good. And yeah, so cool wave. I might wait on a clearance, but I definitely want that Build-A-Figure. So the biggest news of the panel though was the unmasking of the No Way Out head sculpts. We finally got Tobey Maguire, and I think all the likenesses look pretty good. What do you think, Chaz?
Yeah, it looks good. It was a good movie. I really liked that movie. That was a really good movie.
No Way Out was awesome, man. Yeah, again, we spoke about this earlier, and the reason it takes 2 years is because Sony wouldn't, Sony had to deal with I think it was a problem with Andrew Garfield. So I think that was they didn't want to come out with Toby's face and Tom Holland's face and not have Andrew. That wouldn't work either, right, guys? I mean, it just really wouldn't.
So they don't lock down these in the contracts with the movie that gives them the rights for the figures, when they sign the
A
contract?
lot of times it doesn't. Yeah, honestly, that's above my knowledge that I know. And I actually that's a great question you're asking me, because now I'm going to ask Monday morning when I get to work. And
I'm just some dummy that doesn't collect these, but I would think that you'd lock this crap down on the contract. If you're paying these guys millions of dollars, you go, hey man, you got to agree to an action figure with your likeness, I don't know.
Yep. Exactly, and this was a good comment, because a lot of people complained that Namorita was most famous for being in New Warriors, and we didn't get that color. But I do think it's a nice looking figure. But I get that kind of what she's known for we're not getting in the Jay Lee Namor. So pretty cool there. But yeah, that's Toby Spider, and so check out the packaging when you see this because what's up, Chad? So of course,
Hey,
Black Panther would pick up T'Challa. Um, Contract had probably expired because it had been so long, but yeah, I don't know. So yeah, a lot. So here's Andrew Garfield. This face sculpt
oh,
is
that looks
amazing,
good.
and yeah, and this
Uh,
is the one everybody was waiting for, and you'll see why right there. But yeah, take a look. I mean,
that
Toby's is
looks
good. This
awesome.
is great. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
like,
This one looks just like him, dude.
yeah, for a 24.99. And so when it comes to the MCU, I don't mind less accessories because I understand that they have to pay a lot of fees and likeness rights, but at least give us something. Like I'll never forgive a figure that comes with nothing, like Morgan Elsbeth, like just to
Yeah.
not come with anything. But if you come with, a set of hands and a face sculpt, I don't hate it for 24.99. You know what I mean?
Well,
So
for that Morgan, they didn't give her any accessories, but then they should at least give her some soft goods, right? But they just gave her that plastic PVC whatever that everybody, well, most people don't really like as much as soft goods. Hey, does this figure they're using the same body for both of the Spider-Mans,
I believe so. Let's take a look.
and they're just swapping the heads? I can't tell,
Well, I
man.
see the butterfly. At least it's all look pinless butterfly joints. So yeah, we're getting some good stuff. Yeah,
I probably
I
need to
mean it
buy.
looks
Probably need to buy a Spider-Man just to have, because I always like Spider-Man. So
well. I mean, if you're a fan of the movie, I think that stupid 3-pack was 89.99 without the likeness right sculpts, and now you can get all three carded for 75.
yeah, and they look good on
So
those cards, dude. Really good.
they do. You don't even have to take them out, but the articulation's so good that you'd want to. Yeah, really good posing. So if anyone has the answer in the chat, are they all different molds? I don't know. Maybe the panel explained it, but to me they look. I can't see why they would be any different.
Because
So
Toby's way shorter, right?
yeah, that might be a thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they showed all three together. I didn't get to grab that picture either on the stream, but that's a hell of a likeness too. It's really good.
Isn't
You
he
could
smaller than all of them? Isn't he like really tiny
Yeah, he is.
in real
He
life?
is. In real life, but then again, Tom Cruise is really short, and in the movies, he's always considered like a 6 foot dude. So
Yeah,
who knows
yeah.
what height? Who know? Yeah, he is short, but who knows what? And Andrew's the tallest. I think he's like well over 6 feet. But
Oh well.
um, yeah. But look, you got three sets of hands, right? So that's far more than we've gotten in the past, and they kept the price the same and everything, and the likeness. So I don't hate this. I pre-ordered all three on Amazon and Pulse, and whoever wins that race, I'll be very happy to get these. And I'm so happy I didn't buy that stupid 3-pack that never went on sale. It actually kept selling out. So it's kind of
Who's his
ridiculous.
aunt? Who's the aunt? Aunt May, right?
Yeah, AMA.
So I think they're coming out with the blow up doll, so I'm gonna get that one.
No wonder you don't show your face. No wonder you don't show your face, Chaz. Oh, but if you take a look at this card, Spider-Man 2. So there's a lot of licensee rights and weird things going on with this set, and this right here should tell you like there was a lot of problems getting Andrew out, when it says Spider-Man 2, because obviously
Yeah.
it's the same look he had in No Way Out as well, and there's another figure that's the same way. So we got Zendaya as MJ, and I think she looks pretty good. Um, actually, someone in the Marvel group, I won't say who, that it's not one of the three that presented, but someone that works close to that brand team was like he wasn't a fan of this sculpt, but look at that. I think it looks like her. I mean, I think the likeness is excellent.
I don't know. To me, I don't think it looks like her too much.
No, so maybe you feel the same way as him. But yeah, I don't hate it. I don't think it'll. I
Not
think
bad.
Zendaya fans don't buy action figures, so I think this will shelf warm like a motherfucker. Um, but the spell box is cool, and yeah, not a whole lot comes with her, but she's MJ. So, and then you get, hey, your She-Hulk has a boyfriend now because you got Matt Murdock lawyering up here with his little brick. So
He's the same
cool
one that
stuff.
was actually in the Amazon show, right? The series, the same
Oh,
actor,
he
or the Netflix series,
he's
whatever.
he was on, yeah, he was Daredevil on that, and Daredevil and She-Hulk as well, and he
Okay, I didn't
appeared in.
watch. I didn't watch She-Hulk, but I saw some of the Daredevil series. Pretty good.
Oh, we got a question here. Oh, hey, look, Mikey's Action Figures. What's going on? What's up, y'all? Do you
Hey.
think that because they're making packaging saying Amazing Spidey 2, we're going to see more figures for that movie? No. I think it was just meant to get these out. There was some kind of licensing contract thing well above all our pay grades with Andrew and No Way Out that didn't make it possible for him to have a figure, and they came to some kind of agreement with Spidey. It's a lot of paperwork. It's a lot of paperwork, and they found something that worked with Amazing Spider-Man 2. I really don't see that we would why we would get that. But then again, they did tease Electro and Lizard. So maybe you're onto something, but I think those are coming. This is pretty much a No Way Out wave. They're just using Amazing Spider-Man 2 as some kind of legal means to get these figures out. You know what I mean? So, oh, you're gonna dip out now that we're gonna talk about GI Joe in like 3 seconds. Good job, Spec. Good way. Am I saying No Way Out? It's because I watch wrestling or something, right? No Way Home. There you go. No Way Home. Cool. All right, moving on. And there's the card. And yeah, that's not one you leave in the card. That's one you rip out because that looks ridiculous. And the Sandman, good facial recognition of my dude Church. He's got extra hands. Thomas Hayden Church. And I don't know. It looks weird because it looks like a naked man. But you know, that's what it was in the movie. And a lot of hand accessories. So a lot of weapon hands. Pretty cool. Yeah, I would again, this is something you'd want to pose with, you know, against all your Spideys. I wouldn't even leave this in the card back. It's ridiculous. And
This looks
yeah,
awesome.
Chaz. So this
I
is
might have
one
to
of the
get him.
prizes. What was that?
I said I might have to get him, even though I don't collect Marvel.
Yeah, absolutely. See, here I am, doing the Lord's work, getting you to walk on the wild side here with Norman Osborn. But yeah, this Green Goblin, the alternate face sculpt, looking really cool, way over the top, you know, very campy. But he was Dwight was playing with that glider, and it articulated like really cool, had lots of cool details. So
It looks just like
I
Defoe.
recommend it.
So good.
What was that?
Looks just like Defoe. So
Absolutely.
good.
Absolutely. Damn, that head sculpt looks awesome. Look at that. A lot of cool posing.
Wah, wah, and there's the packaging. Wah, wah.
Yep. That ain't carded, but you know what? It's deluxe, so it's
It needs a window.
whatever.
Needs a window.
Needs a window. But I think they're trying to just clear all this stuff out before they start regrouping what they're doing. I don't know about deluxe. You think deluxe will stay this way? What do you guys think in the chat? Were you doing just deluxe?
No,
Deluxe
because
gonna
then
stay
they
this
had a
way?
Thor. Remember the movie Thor ones? They had the deluxe ones with the windows.
Good call. Thor Ragnarok. Thor from Target. That one had a window.
And we're seeing it at Target on clearance.
Yes, sir. And this is amazing, man.
Wow,
This
Dr. Ock.
Doc Ock.
He looks awesome, dude.
Once again, Spider-Man 2. So there's some funky thing going on because remember, this movie was a joint production between Marvel Studios and Sony. So, and I think, you know, they kind of brought back a lot of actors that were with under Sony contracts into this. So it gets really deep.
Yeah.
But look at these cool like modes. Yeah, it's totally badass and interchangeable tentacles, and we're gonna get all these No Way Home pre-orders next week, they said. But yeah, looking good.
Cool.
And then this was their exclusive. I don't think more than 10 people bought this thing. I think it's cool, but not for $60 or whatever it was.
What is it? What is it?
It's a Detroit Steel. So it's like Justin Hammer, longtime nemesis of Iron Man, and then I believe his daughter got in the suit, and it gets a little more complicated than that. But it's based on one of the comics and whatnot. But it's a cool deep cut, which is what you want in an exclusive. And it is a beefy boy or girl, whatever, but it is just too much money. I think it uses a lot of the same buck as a Hydra Trooper in the what's that one that's out in the Spider Woman, that cyborg Spider Woman that's out at Target for like half
One,
a buck.
the one on clearance that I see.
It's on clearance and it's $42. It's like not even, you know, all the other ones are 50% off. I mean, I just picked this up from Pulse. Oh, wrong way. I got that one. But thanks you, David Speck left. But look, I found this one actually at Target. These were all 50% off. These were all $27. I got the entire 60th Avengers wave. And they're out there, man. My Target near me had a bunch of them. This one's the hardest one to find because people are going to buy multiples for the gliders. But this is where the money really comes in.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, big, beefy ass sets. Well, I think this was like $27. Just
Wow.
crazy. Just crazy. And then again, thank you, Spec. And then yeah, after Spec picked these all up, I went by Target and they had most of them, but I was like, well, you already bought them for me. But this one's amazing. $27. So when I get that giant man, I'll have all the classic Avengers. So
Dude, Target
thank
is
you.
blowing
Really,
everything out right now, dude, aren't they?
yeah. It's weird. Why do you guys in the chat or Chaz, why do you think this Avengers 60th and Summit like Grunt and like we talked about Grunt, but why do you think this Avengers 60th is just right away clearance? It's like they're not even giving it a chance. I mean, Chaz, help me out here.
I don't know, man. It's weird that they've done that with Star Wars stuff too. They've done, you know, some Star Wars exclusives. They're out, and then all of a sudden, for no reason, they're already clearancing them out. So I don't know. You know, I got that Black Series Cad Bane with what's his name from the duel from Mandalorian. It was that two set, and that was like what 59 or something like that, and now it's on clearance for $27 everywhere. And so the Cobb Vanth with Cad Bane. Anyway, so I bought it at the clearance and then I just returned it with my original receipt and just got it for half price now. But yeah, it's just crazy. They blow out all the Motu stuff, the Masterverse stuff. So I just kind of just wait for those. And if there are things that I think that aren't going to last, and I'll buy them. But other than that, I'll just wait for clearance on like the Masterverse stuff because I really like those figures a lot. But I mean, if you collect so many lines, man, you're going to go broke trying to collect everything, especially now that G.I. Joe has been kicked into hyper gear, dude.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And they're making room for holiday stuff. That's a good guess, but it's just crazy to see this like really good looking set of toys. This Avengers 60th is really nice. It's not even like it just baffles me that that is on clearance, but you know, the prices of these deluxe boxes are high. And I mean, they're even on clearance. They're not, I don't really see them moving unless Marvel fans aren't sure yet. But just to wrap up the Marvel portion of our show, there's a fan vote winner, Red Widow, and just to throw you some back knowledge, there's a comic there and a look, and basically, you know, kind of the Red Avengers and kind of the Russian Avengers, if you will, and Red Widow's part of that. But yeah, as far as whiskeys, I'm sure did you even watch this panel?
No, I just caught the part where they were talking to Shooting the Galaxy about his pictures with a giant man. That's the only thing I really caught.
Very cool. So I will give this a strong 4 whiskeys out of 5. I think, you know, they finally gave the fans the thing they wanted the most, which was their No Way Home head sculpts. And they ended the show with 2 killer figs with that Doc Ock and Green Goblin, and they're awesome. I would pay full price for all 5 of those. The other 3 figures in that wave are probably clearance, but I might get them just to complete the set if I can get them 11, 12 bucks each. And that the void is cool. I love the build a figure. I'm not a super fan of all the figures there, but they're cool. That's a cool wave. I don't think there's like anything too wrong with the wave. They're deep cuts in the comics and some, you know, icons there with Black Panther and Vision. So I think it's a fun wave. You know, if you're a diehard comic fan, you'll get it. But the build a figure of Dark Century Void is dope. And yeah, I mean, I don't know much about this fan vote thing. And then yeah, they added stuff to a HasLab that, you know, probably needed to get over that 50% hump, which is what Ryan talked about in the beginning. He's like, yeah, let's get over 50, and they did it. They added the antennas, the white antennas, and the googly eyes. They added some interchangeable, customizable eyes, and hopefully they're just every week, or maybe if they don't see the numbers come up, they add little things here and there and there. But I think it's good value. Overall, 4.5. Well done, Dwight, Dan, and Ryan. Awesome job. And
Wait,
now
so
is the time.
let me stop real
Yep.
quick. So they added those
Sure.
things to the base offering on the
Yes.
fly? Oh,
Yes.
wow, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yep. Or either that, or they didn't have it ready for. I think they may have said they didn't even have it ready for for the
launch.
For the launch of the HasLab. That could have been it. But
So
all right, hour and a half in. Now you guys we're getting to it. Now it really is a toy kind of mood at night, right? Now it's nighttime. It's dark. It's getting dark. It's 9:30 at night, East Coast, 6:30. Chaz, are you? I said, are you ready?
Hey, you got to play the Tonight Show music, dude. I can be your Ed McMahon. Yes, sir. That is correct, sir. Yeah, dude, I'm ready.
I'm gonna be like my other co-host and be like, that was just the pre-show. That was just the pre-show. When the stream messed up, and he was like, yeah, that was just free. So that was an hour and a half pre-show. And now we're at G.I. Joe. Man, I'm scared. But thank you, Chaz, again for being on this. But
no, it's fun, dude.
Lots to cover. PulseCon. Imagine if we covered Transformers, Power Rangers, Dungeons and Dragon Magic, the selfie series. We'd be here all freaking night. So, but anyway, let's get right into it. First of all, how you feeling, man? How you feeling about what G.I. Joe did? Don't get any of these specifics, but just how you feeling?
That's awesome, dude. It's an awesome time to be a classified fan, classified collector. And it feels like when you're looking at like the Star Wars and some other stuff, that they're shifting, that Hasbro's shifting some of their budget from those other lines to classified, man. Because classified is just going off right now, dude, off the chain. There's so much stuff coming out. There's so much stuff. It seems like they don't even have enough time to reveal all the things that they're going to give us, dude. It is crazy, right? And so now they totally 86 the 3.75 lines, right? So they're done with that. So now classified's getting all the money. So that's good, man. We got some great stuff.
All the money. So what didn't we see? But what we will see is something really funny that Chaz conjured up for our show. Let's take it.
That's a Toy Kind of Mood exclusive, dude. It's a Toy Kind of Mood exclusive.
I'm surprised the viewership didn't go from like 30 to 2 after that. That was actually Michael Vlad doing the dance at Walmart. No, I'm just picking on you, Vlad. Go kill me now. But no, that was awesome. But talk to me about Walmart. Like, we didn't see any of the Walmart stuff, right? We were talking about Bobby B. Here's his awesome photography.
Yeah, crazy, right? So they didn't even announce Parth Varma, and we haven't even seen the actual toy from Hasbro of Shadow Tracker, and they already landed in Taiwan and I think Hong Kong, and I think those are the only 2 countries they landed in. I got a copy of both, just got lucky. I know you got Parth, and you're waiting on your Shadow Tracker, but yeah, it's crazy. So they must have to go. First you thought it was gonna be on the CollectorCon, but then that didn't happen, and then we thought it was gonna be at the PulseCon, but that didn't happen. So maybe it's gonna be the 1027 event. They'll put them up or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's where they haven't even showed them, so I don't know.
These comments are funny, Vlad. Accurate. Pure. The hype is real. I don't even think the killer whale is out of the question now. Yeah, man. At this point, we're gonna get a flag and a USS Defiant, a Defiant, and all this stuff. USS Flag, a Defiant. It's all coming.
I want the Wolverine, dude. I want the Wolverine. That was one of my favorite ones. I found my childhood one, and it was missing a couple missiles only. It was still intact. I bought it at Gemco back in the day, and I want it in classified.
Yeah, I had a Wolverine too. I had probably the biggest thing I had. Yeah, because I think when it came to vehicles in the air, I think I only had a Conquest. So yeah, Wolverine. But yeah, anyway, they didn't announce these. What else we got going on? Okay, but they did announce these. Talk to me. How you feeling about this? Like the 60th anniversary, like homage that they had for Classified.
Yeah, so that's I don't know. So it's supposed to be from the 60th, but I thought the 60th all had that bearded hairy guy, right, with the kung fu grip. So I don't know what they had with masks, but I saw like that the toys that made us, and they had a episode on GI Joe, and they showed them. I know they had like it was basically the same figure, and they just dressed them up in the different divisions. They had a Navy one, Army. I think I don't know if they had a Marine, but so I don't know. I think maybe they're just trying to do this as an homage, but updated so you can use it as a modern troop builder. I mean, it looks awesome. It has to be a deluxe, and because they didn't show any packaging and how much stuff in it, they didn't give us a price. I'm thinking it's going to be like in its own like commemorative type of special box, probably with a window and anniversary stuff on it, and it has to be $40 or at least $30, but I think it's probably gonna be close to $40 or $35 with all that stuff, and it's a lot of stuff. And it's a soft goods raincoat too, so I don't know.
Yep. Yeah, man. Oh, he says I want a damn polar bear.
Yeah,
And then where did I get Parth Armor from? We got them from Return of the Nerd Star Wars on Instagram.
in Taiwan.
Yep, I need a classified Fatal Fluffy 3-pack. The Cobra Kaiju robot. Gun Bunny has an amazing custom of that Cobra Kaiju. Nice. Cool. Speaking of this though, I think it's like, they're going for a very modern interpretation, obviously, modern military. It's got that nice soft goods, which is something KJ, shout out to Black Genghis. Black Genghis, we have right here. He asked Lenny and Tony, and then about soft goods for the future. And here we are. I mean, we've had soft goods with Serpentor and Supreme Cobra Commander and stuff, but we haven't really got them in any of our Joes, our military looking. Yep. And then so yeah, we got that poncho, a very, very gridiron inspired accessories. And if you guys
Yeah,
know from our interviews and hanging out with Lenny, he loves gridiron. He thinks he's got all the respect in the world for Mark. I know they've had conversations about things like that. And then in here we got hood variations, which is nice. You can change the handles on that 50 cal. You can, I think at the end, Lenny talked about changing the different pouches on the vest and stuff. So they're
yeah,
really
he said
getting,
that's crazy.
yep,
Yeah, he said you could like take them off and move them, and that's pretty amazing.
yep. And then we got, oh, you know what? Here we go. I love that they're doing soft good, just like the old Joes of yore. Yeah, and you're the one who asked that question
Yep.
to them at the interview. And then David says, "I think I'm the most excited for these. He loves that they can be troop builders, and they're based on modern. Anything based on this modern military will take my money." Um, and then yeah, I mean, what else we got? They got the 3-color camo scheme that Tony was really proud of. I mean, it's gorgeous.
Yeah,
The one thing, Chaz, is that we don't see a name because we don't have a box. I think you brought up a great point. We don't know like exactly, of course, when you look at this, right, the homage, it was like you got all kind of stuff, and it does look like it would be some kind of commemorative deluxe set, but it's an
yeah,
army builder. So that's the only thing, man, maybe in the whole panel I'm a little concerned about, because army builders, like snow serpents and stuff, that stuff starts getting expensive. But then you also you're commemorating 60 years of the original GI Joe, like 1964. So yeah, it's kind of a weird mix there with the builder but deluxe commemorative, because this is kind of how it came. And then we had the 1994 had the 30th anniversary that we have on the right there, and then you get the original on the left. So yeah, I don't know. What's your take on this as far as army builders? And then we don't know. They said they're the rifleman, the action soldier, but then he actually the action soldier doesn't really represent this one. This one looks more like the Marine because they had an action Marine. This is more Marine
yeah.
garb. So I don't know. I mean, how you feeling about, maybe they just haven't gotten this down as far as like maybe what they'll call it, maybe I don't know, how you feeling about the whole thing when it comes to like the package, the army building and the deluxe and everything?
Yeah, I mean it's cool. I want to see what the packaging looks like, and probably if the packaging looks cool with the window, I'll probably just keep it in package, because it's not really a GI Joe character, that I really know, or I don't know how it really fits in the line. I don't know, like out of package with the rest of the Joes. I don't know yet. So I'm gonna have to see it. The packaging, number one, number two, when they actually show it, in hand, displayed and in dios, and if it looks good with the rest of the Joes and like it fits in, then maybe I'll buy two. Open one and keep it in package. So.
Yeah, maybe the same too. If it looks really nice, something that you would put on the shelf or something like that, then, and if not, if it's just, in a box, then maybe I'll get two. But wondering about the price on these. So I think taking a look at this. I'm going to say $34.99, and that seems a little pricey for a builder, but maybe not too pricey to have two. So I'm not,
Well,
I'm not sure.
I think the soft goods might push it up to 40.
Oh, that's a good call. That's a good call there. So yeah, I'm a little worried. Maybe I'll just get one. And there's a lot of fun comments. It's a basic troop and an homage to Voliverse. And I think I saw an RAP Voliverse. Yeah. And then
Yeah, the
you
actual
asked the
figure,
question.
the actual figure itself looks kind of like the Valaverse, with his like
Sure.
stock troopers with the baklavas. So
Sure. Absolutely. And there's no question. How do you even order? You have to DM him. And he has to he does like a lot of videos, and that's kind of how his update is. The website, it kind of doesn't, I've even mentioned to him is like, hey, I actually missed Shadow Tracker and Mole Rats, and because I would flip through their website every day, but then I wouldn't have time to watch all the videos, having to go to work and all this stuff. But I guess in the videos he said, hey, I got Shadow Tracker, and it's kind of like first come first serve. So I mean, that's all.
It's a secret society. You have to be part of the club. So if you're new, you're gonna have to fly to Taiwan, help him beat up a couple scalpers, get the secret code, from him, and then you can order. So I don't know. I don't know if you want to do that.
It's like one of those Like a Dragon video games, man. You just walk up into a convenience store and beat the hell out of somebody, and some girl will go on a date with you, and you get lollipops and sing karaoke. This thing is dope AF. Sure is. The 50 cal Roadblock Retro, 100%, 100%. I remember, if you watch any interviews with these guys, everything's future proof. So everything they do has a purpose. It's never an end all be all. Good to see you, Ray. Short on time, going deaf. I mean, maybe you just watch the replay, man, in the morning. Let's see what else we got going on here. My guess is $40, or Hasbro CEO says $50 because you're now successful GI Joe team. Yeah. So that's one way to make them unsuccessful. So shout out to hair dryers, heat guns, and silicone oil working overtime for the Action Force fans. I'm leaving that comment up all night. Cool. And then so here's a look, like I was talking about, the Action Man, the Action Soldier, whatever you want to call it, the rifle doesn't really replicate this one. This is more the Marine. So
that's what I was
maybe
surprised, because none of them had a baklava on them, right? They all had a face. They all kind of like 19 World War II inspired, right? That's what I thought they looked like, World War II inspired. So I don't know.
If it makes you feel better, Neil, that Gary loves me and doesn't respond to me either. He does, but it takes a week sometimes. But he is the man. He's a good guy. He's a one-man show running a whole store, and he's getting DM'd thousands. Must be, because people need their Joes. It's like crack.
Well, once he started getting into the Joes, because he didn't do it at first, and I was he got like a random case of the Python Patrol bats and the Python Patrol Viper, and then he's like, "Hey, you interested in these?" So and this is when they were already out in England and Europe, and we couldn't get our crap over here, right? So
of course.
I got it from him, and Jersey Maniac got it too. So we were like the first ones to get it from him, and then he started seeing, like, because he follows all our pages because we collect everything, and then he kind of like started getting into some Joes and stuff, and then so we're trying to like tell him, hey, get this, and now that everybody wants their Joes, dude, I think he's like overwhelmed because the Joe collectors are many and demanding.
Yep. Yep. Just Star Wars fans will spend money, but they're not spending money 3 months in advance like Joe collectors are.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah.
and then this is good. Hey, $34, which is what I guessed. I think they'll move, but if they start saying, the soft goods, there's no soft goods on this Action Sailor Recon Diver though, Chaz. So I think they'd want a universal price.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So you're right. And, and because Hasbro doesn't have to pay licensing fees, man, we get so much stuff, and I'm like in shock on how much stuff we get for the prices. I'm like, oh my god, dude. I mean, it's awesome. But yeah, you're
Yep,
probably
and
right.
they
So
don't have.
you're probably right. It's probably gonna be the same price and maybe $35.
And as far as I know, they don't have to pay the U.S. government anything on this either, besides their taxes, because it's not sponsored through U.S. Marines or U.S.
Yeah.
Navy or U.S. Air Force or Army or anything. As far as I know, I mean that's way above anything I would know.
Yeah,
Maybe some military
there's
guys
no
can
way
check.
there's no way they're paying any license. There's nothing that says U.S.
No,
Army or no symbols
no,
or icons or nothing like that.
no.
It's just military stuff. I mean, it could be military anywhere, right?
You're right for sure. No, 27.99. Wow. I mean that's they'll be sold out if that's
Well,
27.99. So there's a lot of stuff there for to just go $3 over what we're getting. So
it would be nice, but I don't
um
think so.
yep. And then we get what's the thing that propels the diver? Oh, there's like a submersive depth gauge and like a sonar tech depth gauge thing. I think
Yeah,
that's
it's
what
on
you
the
talked
bottom.
about.
Yeah, it's on that bottom right next to his left knee. That's the thing that's a submersible where he holds on to, and I guess it has all the gauges and stuff on there. So that's what Lenny said in the stream.
Yeah, and then there's he's got like the cool thing about this is the secondaries that under vest and light preserver they detach.
Yeah, that's
So
cool. Yeah.
that detaches the rebreather that connects to the goggles. As you could see, there's that front tank that we just talked about, and then yeah, there's that sonar tech on the left, and that gauge, and then it looks like the retro Snake Eye satchel there. This
Yeah.
something that I think Chris was contemplating on the full force. But yeah, overall good value, the two looks.
No,
I can't
good.
see this being 27.99. This seems like incredible
No way.
value. Incredible because I just don't see it. But I think 33.99 is I'm fine with it, and I'll probably do two. I'll do two for 33.99 and call it a day. And then if I want to display one and keep one or whatever, I think that's nice. I think 33.99. Anything above, I won't be mad, but sheesh.
Yeah, I
So
guess $35 would be a sweet spot, I think, for probably the ceiling of if anybody's going to be buying these in multiples.
hey, David Speck, hit the live button. Yeah, there you go. He said, Sandman, this isn't Joe talk. I think you were watching the the past footage when you left. These will be 39.99. Yeah, I mean if it's 39.99, sheesh. Might have to still go too, but I won't be thrilled about it. Hello, Leanne. Nice to see you.
Really? Liam.
Great photography lately, just killing it. Killing it. I love the three with like low light and now them sitting down. That's hanging outside. It's awesome. Beautiful work as usual. But yeah, I mean, what do we got next, Chaz? We got like Marines, pilots,
Yeah, I don't know.
paratroopers. We see females, tank gunners. What do we
I
got?
don't know how many. I don't know how far they're going to dive into this because it's a commemorative sets, and like I said, if it's in the commemorative packaging, I could see them doing like 4 total, but who knows?
Mhm. Yep. And there's the homage to the Action Sailor. You got the 30th anniversary on the left and the old school one from 64 on the right. So there's just a look. I look at how old school that one looked. I mean, that was a guy hanging on a lifeboat, really.
Yeah.
And then of course it dressed up into who is now a torpedo. Good stuff. But yeah, Action Force is getting lit this week. There was also Mezco really quickly. We'll talk about this Rumbler, man. What do you think about this bad boy?
Yeah, it looks pretty awesome, but they didn't put a price, right?
Yeah, that's the big thing. But a lot of comments were It's funny because Bobby's always spoke highly about Mezco, and here they are, kind of sharing the market with their Rumble Society vehicle that, obviously it's 112 scale
Yeah,
as their
it
112
looks awesome,
collector.
dude. It looks awesome.
Yeah,
So we'll see.
says 450 at least. I joked that it was 999.99, but I don't know. I think it's around 300, 400. I got to do the paying for and just, I don't know. I need to see more shots, obviously, but I'm very excited. I'm very interested in this. And did you see this one? It wasn't you, but it's
What is
pretty
this
funny.
one? Uh, that's
Yeah.
funny,
I
dude.
mean, but between the 60th anniversary and the Rumbler, whew, tough week over there. Look, name only reveals, but they gave us a digital render for this name only reveal. And man, I don't know about you, Chaz,
Awesome.
but to
Awesome.
me, this stole the whole freaking show.
Yeah, I agree, dude. When I saw this, and I don't even know who this guy is. I think I saw him back in like when I was looking up some Iron Grenadiers, and I
Yeah.
think he's from that line or something like that. Dude, he is freaking awesome, dude. Awesome, and it like the missile launchers on his legs. I mean, this thing is freaking killer, dude. And that mask. I mean, and it looks like his hair comes off like Lady J, and then the helmet goes over it, right? Kind of like they did with what's his name too? Um,
Shipwreck.
yeah, Shipwreck. Same thing where
Yeah,
like right the hat
mood
comes
wreck.
off.
Yeah.
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 So
This is the most deluxe. Yeah,
oh
you're gonna see. I mean, obviously we haven't gotten prices on this stuff yet, but I'm sure it's like the snow job, which is, my snow job is my figure of the year for classified, and I don't think this will be out in time because we didn't get a pre-order. This is just a render. This will be 24, but it's gonna be an early contender right off the rip,
yeah,
if
dude.
you
I
will.
I
But
opened up my snow job because I got it late, but I opened him up the other day. Amazing, dude. Because he was one of my favorite Joes back in the day, and I had the
yeah.
polar bear, and dude, I love that freaking figure. I loved it, and so I'm like the way that you unsnap those little things to put his skis on, the little things to put his poles in. I mean that the different you can put. I have it with the little skull cap on, with the hood down, with the glasses on it, dude, and wearing the
Oh yeah.
snowshoes, dude. Carrying the rifle, dude. I agree, man. This might be the best figure of the year, dude. It is that good with all that equipment too. So, but yeah, go back
Yep.
to Metalhead. Yeah, it's probably the same price, right? $35 or whatever, but well worth it for sure.
I don't think it's coming out this year, is it? If it does come out this year,
No,
it'll be very, very, very late at the end. I don't believe so. This was just a render. This didn't go on sale. Totally nailed it. And Leanne says, "Oh my God, it's Chaz. It's awesome. Great to put the voice to the memes." Yeah,
thanks,
that's what I'm saying,
man.
man. This guy's gonna be
Yeah,
a
thanks,
YouTube
man.
superstar overnight.
Hey, yeah. The the wave, the last wave, right, that just came out, that's December 1st release. So the earliest that this, because even if they have these, which we think that's going to be that she let the cat out of the bag, that there's going to be pre-orders for that 1027 event. So the
Right.
earliest they would be released would be January 1st. So
Okay. Yeah.
right,
So, and if
that's
you
not
buy
going to
it
be released
from,
this year.
yeah, and here's how I do it. If you want to talk best of the year, if you get a figure from overseas before the US date, it doesn't count. It goes
Nope,
towards
don't count.
24. Yeah.
Doesn't count.
Question for Dave. I wonder if he is going to be Iron Grenadiers or just Cobra. Yeah, they didn't really mention that part, right?
Nope. No, they didn't. They just mentioned him and all the gear and the
Yeah.
way the things hook up. So yeah, I hope we start getting Iron Grenadiers, man, because I wasn't collecting then. That was like way after my time. But when I started looking back at the figures, dude, I was like, dude, this is and the whole time that I've been collecting classified, and I've seen, and they started doing the sublines. I'm like, dude, I can't wait till they do the Iron Grenadiers because they just look so awesome.
Genghis says Iron Grenadiers. Neil says Vala has ticked off a lot of people that are coming after him. Yep, that's true. And then, hey, Craig, what's up? Love seeing new faces. Always got to build up what we got. So really appreciate you coming by, checking us out. Uh, January 1st. Okay, cool. Metalhead was a wild character in the 90s. I mean, look, check it out. It's got, yeah, like you mentioned, the removable hair. And then I think Lenny went into detail about that bucket helmet that used to be a bucket, and then now it's got like a buzz. If you look really quickly, it's got like a buzzsaw mohawk, he calls it. With the
Yeah,
buzz
that was
actual
the helmet.
buzzsaw.
Hey, that was that helmet that remember that was leaked out in some photos with some Star
Oh
Wars.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that's the helmet, right? So
Mhm. Good call. Good call on that. Was that Fred Ason or one of those creators, or was that just leaked on like
I don't know
eBay or?
where. I think I saw it on Full Force. He was showing those parts, that got found. Kind of just like when they found those bat pieces and alley viper
Mhm.
pieces in Hong Kong at one time that Cuck Island said was fake, but we won't get into that.
Yeah, he does. He does look like he could fit with 788, and who he looks like he
Yeah,
really could fit with is the Alley Vipers, the Crimson Alley Vipers, because they have that gray in there.
yeah,
You know
you're
what I
right.
mean? So
Yeah,
that they would look good. And if you think about what they're about, they have those giant riot shields. Those are the guys you want next to this maniac with the articulated rocket launchers, and just to kind of go through. I mean, to me, this was the figure of the presentation, so I don't mind spending extra time on him because he was explaining, in case you guys missed it, like how you can detach the rocket launchers to those ball joints at the top, and then they articulate 360 around the
yeah,
arm, and then
it's
then
amazing.
then on the leg, if you look on his thighs, there's red ball joints there, and they connect to those other rocket launchers
Yeah,
on
those
his hip.
double
So
launches. Those are double rocket launchers that go on the legs right there, dude. That is nuts. Those are the little ones. So there's two rockets
yes,
on each side, and he has the ones on the ball joints at the top that go 360, dude. This is crazy.
I cannot wait to see Shooting the Galaxy, and I bet you he's like frothing at the mouth right now
Yeah,
with
dude.
this
That guy
one.
that
And
guy's pictures are so freaking good, man. You like
yeah, yeah.
I mean, he makes some works of art, and he makes them like, oh my god, dude. He's actually the perfect photographer for things like this because you look at it and you go, oh, dude, I want that, because you're like thinking, oh, maybe I could do a pose like that, but of course we're not gonna be able to do that.
And yeah, it looks like we'll get in Grenadier's Destro. Yeah, that could be some, but they didn't give a name only reveal for that, so I'm not sure. Gonna need a stand for Metalhead. Yeah, probably use one of those nice ones that come with the retro figures. And but yeah, I agree with everybody. Okay, you could use it, wait for Grenadiers, or throw it in with 788 and some of those troopers, and give him a guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Metalhead, right?
Yeah, I mean, it
So
looks like he could be a Dreadnok, right?
yeah, absolutely. He
Those are
absolutely versatile cat for sure. Thrilled with it, and I love Tony joked at the end. He was saying it was really hard to do the digital render with this because of all the pieces that come with it and all the effects, but he did an amazing job with this render.
yeah.
So and then shout out to Tony, the great Antonio, uh on Instagram. I'm sure I said that. It's the great Antonino
Yeah,
on
Antonio,
Instagram, because he's I got home late from work. I hadn't even really watched PulseCon. I watched bits and pieces. And as I was watching it, he was pumping out these high res digital renders, which we have on our Instagram page at a Toy Kind of Mood. So shout out to the great Tony. He looks a little bit like Bobby. Yeah, Bobby went haywire and got really mad at me one episode. This could be his action figure for sure.
yeah.
Really
Okay.
cool. But man, I love it. But let's move on to the next one. And we got name only reveals. So that was
Yeah.
a name only reveal, Metalhead, but then they showed us anyway, and I was like, oh, now I know why. But we're getting another vehicle, midsize. We mentioned the ferret in the beginning of the show, and also we're getting Army Builder with the Cobra Ninja Night Creepers. Man, give us your thoughts.
Yeah, the fair, dude. I'm excited for it. It's awesome. The the Night Creeper, I don't ever remember that. That was after my time too, but I mean, it looks pretty cool. But you know that it looks kind of like the Red Ninjas, right? The head sculpt. So, but hey, man, another ninja type figure, dude. I'm all for it. I love ninjas. So
Yeah, I mean it's like the tech noir, and I love that like purple urban camo, and obviously you got some his crossbow shoots like 6 arrows at once and
Yeah.
looks really cool. So can't wait to see what Lenny and company do with that. And the ferret, I mean, that was one of the things we guessed. We asked him at Comic-Con, you doing mid-size vehicles? And this is even on the smaller side of mid-size, maybe even in the small vehicle department. But we talked about it, maybe it'll come with a figure. Maybe I loved your suggestion. Maybe if it does come with a Cobra Trooper or anonymous driver or whatever, maybe like a helmet or something cool to go with
Yeah.
it. But then you could see Storm Shadow and Firefly give zero fucks, and they're just riding, and they don't care if they get a concussion or die at all, brain damage. So, but yeah, it looks. I can't wait to see what these guys do with it, and then we can't wait to see what Gridiron does and hooks it up with all extra gear on it and stuff too. So,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a lot of fun for that. Name only, and then they announced it's 7 name only. So we got Metalhead, Ferret, Night Creeper, and then we had these two.
Yeah, so the retro beachhead that people have been crying for a while. They don't like his guns. I like the classified beachhead. I think it's pretty awesome.
It's just
But
loose in the legs, right? I mean, really, that
I
was
don't know.
that was the deal.
Mine didn't really have loose joints. I think the worst figure I had in terms of joints was that Arctic Storm Shadow. The waist, dude, like you could just fling them back and forth like out of the package, dude. It's so loose. But I didn't have any problems with the beachhead. The all green weapons were kind of whatever. I think I put a Valaverse gun with my beachhead. But yeah, that's cool. It's going to be old school. It's going to be. They said they're now mainline releases on thicker card backs, so you don't have to deal with freaking Walmart BS anymore and getting everything crushed. So that's cool. And yeah, so I'm excited for that. And then Nagahide, dude, that's freaking awesome, dude. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I love Dreadnoks.
Absolutely.
So every Dreadnok, just give me every Dreadnok, and I'll be happy.
Right. When they had that name, you're good with the name listings. When it said dastardly, I don't know if it was you or I was having a conversation with someone and I was like, that's not really junkyard. He's a good boy. I mean, yeah, he's Rottweiler and everything, but I was thinking about this. I was thinking
Oh,
about
okay.
Clyde the hog, the boar. I was thinking about like someone he's more dastardly than a good little old boy, but I don't know. This is one of my faves as a kid. One of the kind of when you jump in the line 89, 88. This is kind of the figures that you would see in the shelves at Toys R Us and Chow World. So
See, and this one
definitely,
was after my time because I stopped collecting. I want to say 85, 86, and then I picked up some here and there because I had Techno Viper. I think that was like 87, but I was already in high school, so I must have still been picking some up. But I don't remember this guy. But dude, I want him.
yeah. I'm gonna circle back real quick on this because there's like 6,000 comments about the
Oh yeah,
ferret. So let's get everybody
yeah.
shining in. Anyone get the Polaris ATVs from Walmart? They're perfect for custom ferrets. We're gonna get a Night Creeper leader too. Yeah, that's great. How many Cobra Ninjas do we need though? All of them. All of them is the answer always. The ferret being announced is the biggie for me yesterday. Yeah, I mean it's got to be in we didn't get to see it. I think if we saw it, it would easily be number one, but it's name only. As far as name onlys, I mean, we saw one name only, but as far as the ones we didn't see, this was definitely obviously the biggest. Ferret's a must. Did they specify if it was the character Ferret from the Iron Grenadiers? Oh,
No.
meaning the character that comes with. Because
No,
they did say
there was
with figure.
there was a character named Ferret because somebody messaged me on Instagram too, and I looked it up. But the character was just some kind of driver of some other vehicle or something like that, and his name was
Oh,
Ferret.
okay,
There's no way, dude.
crazy.
If they came out with if they announced the Cobra Ferret and they came out with that guy, dude, everyone would be like up in arms. You see
All right, that
twerking.
was to keep the copyright going. Like what they do with Transformers, and they have like two shock waves and all that. When they play that whole game where they share names and all that. I'm pretty sure they name just like there's a guy Sky Striker that's a pilot. He's not the pilot of the Sky Striker, right? So that's
Okay,
kind of the deal with a
makes
lot
sense.
of those names.
That makes sense.
Uh, let's see what we got. Okay, thank you, Neil. Appreciate it. I do my best, work really hard on these shows. Night Creeper's armor is perfect for the ab crunch, but the diaphragm works too. Yeah, that's true. If you take a look at that card, and they did say Cobra head. Man, I hope we get. Okay, we'll move on to Beachhead then. A massless Beachhead like the sideshow version. Ah, okay, I like that.
Did he ever
I
show
could
his
finally.
face in the cartoons or anything? I don't remember
I
that.
don't remember, guys. You help me out. I don't remember him ever taking that balaclava off. So,
Yeah.
yeah, this is the key here. We're finally gonna get his real stuff. You know, the retro accessories, if you will.
Yeah.
Better fatigue pants too. You know, obviously they're different. Let's see. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, I don't know. I got a really loose Beachhead and Snake Eyes. I don't see a point with the retro Beachhead. Beachhead redo is so overdue. Yeah, but the first one's good for
Yeah,
sure.
I like them. I was
Cool.
excited, dude. That was one of my favorite ones when they first came out on the Cobra Island Target exclusives.
Haha. Clyde is his code name. His real name is Crispy Bacon. Oh man, maybe someone will wear him as a pelt. So
That'd
I'm
be
hoping for
funny.
Alpine. Everyone is hoping for Alpine. I've seen that in the comments so many times.
Yeah, well,
Um,
they're spacing them out, right? They can't give everybody at once. So
Ferret is a soldier driver for the Iron Grenadiers. So
okay, yeah.
he
So
was a
he's a
driver
driver.
of the Demon, the tank.
Oh, the demon. That's right. I look because I had to look it up when the guy asked me. I'm like Ferret. I've never even heard of a character named Ferret. And yeah, that's right. He was a driver of the demon. So, but there's no way that's him because they would have specified that. Because when they say Ferret, people are expecting the ferret, the ferret that we're looking at the vehicle, right?
Right. And then a question here I want to ask is well, not even a question, but just a thing, man. Like we're gonna get harder. It is a question because we're getting the harder card stock. Are you gonna buy multiples? Because you know, now finally, you know, it's not the flimsy Walmart garbage that we got before. Now you can tack one on the wall or whatever. I mean, what are you doing? You buying two of each now?
Yeah, because I already have one of each of the other ones, so just keep it going. Right,
Right. Yeah.
sorry, two of each. I have a carded and open one of each of the ones they've come out so far. So I'll just keep it going. Especially with the better card stock. Yeah, of course I have to.
Absolutely, absolutely. Got it. Before I was just buying two of the characters I liked and then praying that, you know, I get like a most minty one I could for like Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes and stuff. But I think if these are going to be that thicker Marvel Legends Black Series card stock, then yeah, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go too. Let's see what else we got here. Everyone
Well,
wanting Alpine. I'm over here just wanting Dialtone and Lifeline.
that's cool.
All right,
Well,
I don't care
also
about
because
cards. What's up?
also because they're mainline too, you're going to be able to get them at places like Entertainment Earth, where you're not going to have to worry about them being all bent up in the shipping. So it's a
Absolutely a
win,
great
dude. It's
point.
a win.
Yep. They said no more Walmart exclusive there, which was the biggest news as far as that. But look, they're doing retro eels,
Yeah.
which is man, they must have been watching our interview with Mark II Design, huh? They immediately made that decision
Yeah.
just to give us Mark II stuff because I mean the Cobra eel, the frogman, it's the same. There's really no it was just accessories that are different, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Well,
So
I think that's always the plan when they're coming out with these, they're going to come out with the regular one, and then they're going to do it in a way that all you have to do is do a little bit of repaint and give you the old school accessories on a card. I think that's always the plan with this because, like the snow serpent, how are you going to use that mold again? Right? Is there another thing that the snow serpent was? I mean, I can't think of anything.
well, they're gonna go with the lighter blue tone that we see instead of that
Yeah,
navy
exactly.
blue. The glasses, the
Yeah,
goggles will probably be translucent,
yeah, yeah.
like
No, no,
snow.
no, no, no. What I was saying was that they have to do that. If they want to get a twofer out of this mold, they're going to have to put on a retro card because there's no other thing. They're not going to make a crimson uh, snow serpent, right? So that'd be
Well,
hilarious.
no, well, no, same. So your point is great because check this out. This answers that kind of that question. That's why we didn't get a regular Rakondo because the other
Yeah.
one, I mean, it's not all that different. So
Yeah.
I had though obviously the bright yellow tiger stripes and all, but I think that was a smarter way to get more out of it with the retro card. And the same here, and obviously the mortar. We didn't get the mortar either, so mortar launcher.
Yeah, to me it feels like they finally figured out what to do, because it seemed like the beginning of the line, it was like the more updated things, all the update figures like Gung Ho and all that, and then people were complaining, "Oh, I want retro, I want to like the old school and all that." So they started doing things old school. So I think now they're settling where they're going to give us the updated figures in the classified, and they're just going to throw stuff on these retro cards to satisfy the old school people that want the old school decos and
Yep.
weapons and things like that, and they get two bites of the two kicks out of the can for the mold, and they're selling a lot more figures.
100%, because you get those two different fan bases. The one that just like for instance, one of our guests that we've had on Toy Kind of Mood, Apathy. He just wants the retro look as he has as a kid, and so he's got to be thrilled with these additions. Look,
Yeah.
Genghis says, I think Leatherneck, Alpine, Lifeline, they're taking their sweet time to get them right. Um, Six Pack says the beat for Beachhead. It'd be funny if they added a deodorant stick as an accessory. He was known for not wearing it in the cartoon,
That's
and it
right.
is it's a retro one, and they're kind of aping on Sunbow. So yeah, it would be yeah. And they did do the candy bar. We'll talk about Quick Kick in a sec. But yeah, it'd be funny to have those homages. We'll have to see. I bet the Eels have the retro gear like Mark. Yes, that's
Yeah.
probably the plan. Let's get through a couple more comments. David continues and he says that CERN. Yeah, this is what I did. I canceled my pending second snow serpent because I got one from Taiwan and all that, and then I had a couple on pre-order, but I'm not gonna get there's no reason to get the box set when they're coming out with these two. Now I can build at the $20, $25 range instead of whatever that was, $35.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
so yeah, we got that. Blah blah blah. Okay, cool. All right, let's move on to Rakondo. Just got a quick comment on that.
Yeah, it's just cool. It just looks. I mean, I like uh Tiger Force one. I think he looks awesome. He's not too
It's
like
great.
not too. Yeah, he doesn't have like all the weird loud colors. So I mean, it looks like a great figure. So I mean, this one's cool. I mean, I'm obviously going to get this one too, but I think the other Rakondo worked just fine for my collection.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good khaki dress and amazing looking fatigue work by Tony. And yeah, more or less that we're getting the same accessories with the stand or whatever. But it's cool because I have on my detail shelf, I have a Tiger Force section and I have a Python Patrol section. So
Yeah,
I'm welcoming those characters in there until it gets too full, and then I'll make some changes. But I'm happy to get a Rakondo to throw somewhere else in the
yeah,
detail there. Next up we have, I thought this was gonna, for
awesome,
some reason, I thought this was going to show like the face, but look, Scarlet, man, home run.
awesome, awesome. Yeah, home run, dude, all the way. And yeah, just I thought both of the other Scarlets were cool, but I mean, this is just the Scarlet we grew up with, right? So this, she's wearing the superhero leotard, but man, this is awesome, dude, awesome.
Yep, this was probably the most like kit bashed figure people put, like when they bought the original and then bought that when they quick did like a quick redeco of Scarlet, they would put the movie face on. They would put MJ faces, Mary J faces from
Mm.
Spider-Man. And if you notice, though, some of these face scans we're starting to get now are starting to be sort of like that Marvel classic Marvel Legends scan where you don't have the blush on the cheeks, which is good because she's out for combat. She's not going
Yeah,
on a date, but she still has like eyeliner to
yeah,
show that she's still like a sexy, powerful
feminine,
woman,
yeah,
and still a
yeah,
badass, but she's still very feminine and still very strong. And it's good, that instead of just like some of the other female characters, they didn't give them any makeup and all this stuff. There's that whole thing. I don't want to get into it, but I'm just saying like these ones look like the cartoon, they look like the comic, and they scream femininity, but they still scream badass. And this is
yeah.
this is the these are the characters we grew up with and looked up to, and I'm glad they found the right mix here with this retro.
Yeah, you know what? She has such a iconic look too, right? Like Destro.
Yeah.
So when you're updating her, and you just Scarlet, you just remember the yellow, leotard or whatever that is, and that's Scarlet,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. Yep. They just stayed true to it. They heard it.
Yep. Worth the
And
Glenda, yeah. Whoever put that Worth the Glenda, yeah. That's
yeah, worth the Glenda.
yeah.
Obviously, Glenda's going to be very cool on her own as well. It was crazy trying to chill everybody out. Yeah, I remember Baldy Locks doing a great job. KJ as well.
Yeah.
We were all trying to hush everybody during that. And yeah, here's a good comment. Wondering when they'll create Quarrel, the Scarlet variant from the UK line. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Why
So
not, man? More money for them.
thank you, Leanne. Good night. Have a good
Bye,
one.
Leanne.
Yeah, but obviously we're getting the Sunbow rifle, the XMLR, you get the trick arrows, the bolts for the crossbow. And yeah, I think it's a tremendous, and it's one of Lenny's favorite characters. So I know he was really, really thrilled with it. And then now we have Duke. So we've got like the buffer classic look. And then what do you think about that shovel print that we're getting?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I don't know about that. I'm like a 50-50 on it. I don't know why you would have that on the shovel. To me, it's kind of a little bit odd, but whatever, man. Like GI Joe is weird anyway, so
Yep.
it's cool. It's good to have another Duke in there. I really don't mind the classified Duke at all, and I think the face sculpt on the Duke we have is really good. So yeah,
But there was enough people that weren't thrilled with it. I thought it was like one of those characters when the first wave came out, it was like, all right, Snake Eyes and Destro, those are like 9 or 10 out of 10. And then you had Duke was like a 7, and then Roadblock and Scarlet were like 4s to me. They just weren't like
yeah,
they weren't up to snuff. But I was like Duke, I was always okay with, or a
yeah,
little better than okay. I love what they did with the laser rifle here with the two-tone and the the mag and everything. Obviously, he's getting all those classic accessories that didn't come with his the Nerf Operation Black out version, obviously with the transparent visor on the helmet, and we're
yeah,
getting fists. Like man,
yeah.
we've been asking for swappable hands for a while, and now we're getting punching fists on Duke, so that's
Yeah, I didn't even
thrilling.
notice that. That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't even notice that he came with the swappable hands. That's really cool.
Yeah, man. And then here's a question from Jeffrey Smith. Wasn't Glenda? Yeah, the Glenda was totally given a different sculpt. Yeah, you're talking about the buck, so the
Yeah.
mold. And then I'm all for the Joes, even the ones I didn't know about. Of course, yeah, I'm all in, man. I'm all in. Even if there's another shitty movie that comes out, I'll buy them all. So, will they remake Flint without the facial scar? Yeah, I think Flint's next on this retro. Flint and
Yeah.
what was the other one people were asking for? There was another one. I don't know if it's Destro. Oh, Roadblock. We'll get a Roadblock. We'll get a Flint. I think we'll start seeing they'll trickling out these Sumbo characters, these pioneers.
Yeah.
But speaking of punching, man, we got Big Boa.
Awesome. I'm excited for this one too, man. I don't remember this character either, but I've seen him. I when I was starting to collect, going back and collect some of those 25th anniversary ones, and like, dude, this guy's awesome. And I think they did it right, where because I hear some people complaining about the gloves not being big enough, but you don't want it like
Oh,
too cartoonish.
I don't mean to cut you off, Chaz, but this is the thing I love the most about it. I mean, dude, we're getting like 8 ounce sparring MMA gloves because I asked
Yeah,
for MMA. They're still technically boxing gloves, but they're also as you can see, he's grabbing. You could
yeah,
grab these. Like I don't know if I think these will be straight up. I don't think you can grab like a gun or anything. But I mean, technically, these could be MMA guns at like 6 to 8 ounces, even 10 ounces or 12 ounces. But they're not like the giant gloves. And the comparison I use is that Comic Con exclusive Mattel WWE Elite Ultimate Edition of Muhammad Ali, and those boxing gloves are much bigger than this. And so was that 2-pack with I want to say Rocky, but it was Roddy Piper and Mr. T. But those were boxing gloves. These are kind of like more sparring gloves that could
yeah.
go away.
Yeah, they look a little bit bigger than the MMA gloves, but they're small enough where they don't, because back you think back when they first came out in the 80s, that's when boxing was like probably at its height, right? And nowadays it's mixed martial arts, and so more people are into like MMA and stuff like that. And I love that you get the bare fist, the wrapped fist. That's awesome too, man.
And it's got blood on it too. Like,
Yeah,
let's take
dude.
a bigger look at that. Look, he has a face, big bow of nipples and tight pants.
Yeah, that was
His
awesome.
his beat face will go great with Chuckle's beat face. I can't wait to see. And Leanne just left, but I can't wait to see what Leanne does with them sitting on a bench looking at each other like, man, yeah, you should see the other guy. One of those memes would be really funny. He's all the business, punch out face. His face looks like Rocky Balboa after Clever Lang whooped his ass. These are amazing comments. I like the Cobra logo on the gloves. That's exactly what he had
Yeah.
in the 90, 89, I think, 88, 89, 90. Someone will correct me, but Big Bull looks like someone who starts and then and descends with bro. Yeah, like Matt Riddle. So maybe they can make a Matt Riddle figure because he just got let go by WWE. Loving the weights. And you know what? I do have it, guys. I have it right here. Here's the nips.
Yeah.
You saw it first right here. Toy close up on the nips on a toy kind of mood, baby. Here it
That's
is,
funny.
right when.
Funny when Emily started talking about the nipples.
Oh yeah,
That's
that was
awesome.
wild. I was like, man, she must have had a little glass of something before they.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, seriously. Hey, maybe they're gonna make this one like retro too, with the bigger gloves and the old, I put it on a card. Maybe they're saving that for that. Who knows?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, possibly. But yeah, I love when Romo just drops in and he says Big Bow and Nipples, and here they are. Rub them out, boys. Yeah. So we're getting a little too crazy in here. I did love when Tony, my guy Tony, said, "Nipples, we listen to fans."
Yeah.
So
Isn't
that
that
was
funny,
super
dude?
dope.
Hey, isn't that funny that as soon as you put the nipples on the screen, Romo shows up, dude?
Of course.
It's like the bat symbol in the air, dude. You saw man nipple, dude, and he showed up on the feed.
He's angry now. He's like, my custom is better than these nipples. Hopefully Gridiron will put out a punching bag and nipple caps. But all right, guys, let's move on to Airborne, man. What are you thinking?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it looks like the original figure, and that was
Yep.
one of my favorite ones. And I was always waiting for this one too in classified, because that was one of my favorite figures as a kid. So yeah, it looks legit.
Yep. Yep. He's their helicopter air assault trooper. That's why we didn't get we got a bunch of pilots and a bunch of you know uh parachuters and whatever. We
Hey,
didn't get we
hey,
didn't
so
get
is
the
is that? And we start. Is that? Look at the helmet and the little the night vision. Is that the thing from Parth Varma? The
that's the
same.
thing from Tunnel Rat.
Oh, what is the helmet? Is the helmet from
Oh
Parth?
wait, hold on. The helmet's from Parth Varma, but
Oh yeah,
but
yeah. So
the night
yeah, you're right.
visor is from Tunnel Rat, so they use both, I think.
Oh yeah. So it is
I think
kickback.
so.
Huh?
Yeah, a little bit of kit bash. And then Tony talked about they darkened up the scheme because he was too bright. Obviously we see retro Duke's backpack. That's the same backpack from the old Duke. They just reprinted or recolored it, right?
Oh, I don't know. I gotta pull up.
Isn't that all green Duke backpack that we
I'm
got from
look.
the
I'm
first
I'm gonna
couple?
look it up right now. Yeah, it looks exact same.
Beautiful. And then yeah, obviously Tunnel Rat's night vision goggles, but they look different than the Parth Vama ones, I think. I'm not sure. You have Parth Vama too, don't you?
Yeah, the I'm looking at it right now. The Parth has only two eye things.
That's what I was thinking. So they were using Tunnel Rat's night vision
But
goggles, and then
but
this.
Tunnel,
Yep,
hey dude, Tunnel Rat. I don't think. Let me see Tunnel Rat. I'm gonna look at it right now. Does his have a
it
flip?
doesn't go up. No, it doesn't adjust. It's wraps
Yeah,
around the head.
yeah. So that must be a new eyepiece, new night vision.
Yeah, I think they took the four pieces from that wraparound visor and then put it with the like the stem of it that would articulate into the helmet from Pharma. Kind of
Yeah,
that whole thing.
yeah, it looks like that. But yeah, that is Duke's. I'm looking at Duke's backpack right now. It's the same one with the little
Look,
shovel
must be
molded
a
on
running joke with that backpack. Uh,
there.
Yeah, what up, Tony? How's it going? It is the same backpack as Duke, and the 80s Airborne and Duke at the same backpack. Okay, cool. And
Oh,
yeah, so they said two sets of goggles, as you can see, one above the backpack, one above the pistol. And then he was saying one uses a visor and a helmet, and then the other one fits on the sculpt even when the helmet's on, he said. So that's cool. So
oh, okay.
and then Firefly's gun, right? So the new Firefly, the OG one that we just got, that has the same gun.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So
Yeah.
same rifle. They're the kind of a grease gun, if you will. But yeah, cool. Very basic looking figure. It's not going to win top 5 of the year, but it's airborne, man. I mean,
Yeah,
what else? It's a
true.
good,
It's true to the
you
old
know,
one, right? So
yep, good sculpt, and he'll look good in the Dragonfly. So, and then we got Quick Pick, man. Quick Pick, I
yeah.
keep saying because that was a convenience
Quick
store near my
pick.
house.
Get,
Hey,
you're thinking the
hello, welcome to
lottery,
Quick
dude.
Pick.
You better go to the liquor store and get some lottery tickets, dude. You keep saying
Or
quick.
I could go there for some rubber squishies and Spalding bumps. But man, quick kick. That was from The Simpsons before you guys try to cancel me. It's from The Simpsons. So go cancel Matt Groening. I think he's already canceled anyway. So look, quick kick is one of the highlights of the panel. You'd agree.
Yep, it's awesome, dude. I like that. Well, you know what? I guess the looks like the nunchucks are the same as the nunchuck figure. And Shark Eyes on YouTube, he already has them. He's in Australia. I guess Amazon shipped them like last month or whatever. But he was using some gridiron nunchucks with the nunchuck figure that looked freaking awesome. So I might have to do that. I might have to get some gridiron nunchucks for this guy.
Oh hell yeah. No, their ninja accessories are very underrated. Obviously, the key here is the fudgy bar, right? They mentioned as a Hollywood stunt man, that was his thing. He was like promoting that fudgy bar, and then you got we're getting additional sculpts. I mean, really, they're starting to kill it. That Ninja Star has throwing effects. That's just man, so good.
That's all. And the kung fu hands, dude. Awesome.
Multiple 3 sets of hands, man. Almost the same as our Tom Holland Spider-Man. So pretty
Yeah,
cool.
you got the karate
And-
chop and the fist
yep.
ones, the Furies and the karate chops. So that's actually really cool.
Yeah, and the last thing I want to add is that Lenny mentioned something about like a Japanese wind pattern on the pants and stuff. So they didn't just repaint pants. They really went in on the design, and you can see because they gave him bare feet, right? So you can see how
Yes.
that kind of that boot cut just to give his feet more of a character there with his
Yeah,
ankles
those
and
are
everything.
the
So
are those aren't they didn't reuse legs from anything, right? Because I can't see what that would be
I
from.
don't. We never had any
Nothing
like
bare
I don't
feet.
know, maybe. Yeah. Ray says this one I'm sad about. I was hoping for an update. This one would make sense for the retro card, so I'll respectfully disagree. Why doesn't he have nipples? I don't know. Does he not? I thought he had one nipple on the left. It looks, but maybe not. Maybe
Blow it
they
up.
introduce nipples with the boa. Maybe I don't know.
Hey, blow up the
So
picture for Roma.
I know. Well, yeah, that was I did that already, so I'm not able to blow it up
Oh,
from here.
okay.
But yeah, but maybe someone else can do that. But all right, man, that's quick kick. And moving on, we got the Techno Viper. I mean, look, we saw this with the MMS.
Yep.
Obviously, we didn't get the Vamp and MMS for pre-order this time around, but possibly later. We'll talk about that in just a bit. But
Yep.
before that, do you, as a Star Wars fan, Chaz, do you like this design? I mean, it's very imperial, right?
You know what he looks like? I loved him as a kid. I this was one of the ones I only built as a kid, so I just love this figure. And the I always thought he looked like the Cylons from Battlestar Galactica, the same type of like the mouth,
Okay.
whatever. But yeah,
Yeah, the Cylons. Yeah.
I love this. In the card, if you look at it, the it's kind of over exaggerated the mouthpiece, so it kind of looks like you remember that Twilight Zone where that girl was in the hospital wrapped up and the doctors are talking to her and they're saying she's ugly and then they all take off their mask and they all look ugly with those pig faces. That's what that card looks like. It always reminds me of that. But yeah, I love this figure. I kind of wish they had like the old school kind of tools on there, but maybe that's gonna be on a retro card or something.
Yeah. No, for sure. And he explained those tools, referencing Lenny, talking about like, obviously when they went over the MMS at Comic-Con, and that Techno Viper. He talked about the schematic data pad that's on his right wrist there, and forearm. And then they talked about in the backpack the pneumatic tools that connect to that cord that also connect to the ray gun. So there's a lot of like techie vibes going on with this.
Well, also they said there's a hologram. So if you look next to his right knee, that little
Yeah.
red spot, I guess that's kind of like probably a translucent piece because and it plugs into, looks like in his right arm, so it looks like a hologram coming up from his arm, from his right arm.
Oh, that's crazy because at Comic-Con when he came up with all that stuff and Emily was trying to shut him up about the imaginary one. Now we actually looks like we get one here. I don't know if it
Yeah.
was on the MMS Techno Viper render, but maybe not. And now we're starting to see it. So that was a great. I didn't even notice that, bro. Like that was straight
Yeah.
up promoted me.
B. I think it was either Bobby B or Surveillance Port brought it up and he was showing. I'm like, what the frick is? I didn't know what he was talking about at first, and then when I looked back at I looked at uh, the stream again, and he was talking. Lenny was talking about that the like a hologram type thing comes up out of his arm, so that's what it is, and so yeah, awesome detail.
Yeah, he's awesome. Do you prefer this one or do you prefer the like that 788 Fire Team one?
Oh,
The
this one.
Chicago Bull.
No, this one because I always loved the color. I always thought it was like always thought it was awesome because it stood out, and like I
Yeah.
said, I had like quite a few of these ones. So this was part of one of my army builders back in the day. So I love this one the best.
Nice. Yeah, I never had it as a kid, and it would have been one of my faves if I did. And but I guess the other question is when you voted for the His Tank Tactician, the Ron Rudat one, did you vote purple?
I voted for the one that won, but I was debating between these two. This would have been my second choice, but the only reason I did the other one because I thought it looked better with the hiss, with the whole color scheme. But I love this purple, whatever it is.
Yep.
So
Yep. Likewise, looks like Romo's getting some action in the chat. The Techno Viper listen to house music. Yeah, when he goes down to Phoenix and hits the bars with you, I'm sure. Did you do a custom of this one, bro? He asked Romo, and he says no. He did a lot of Joes in the beginning, and I think he started doing Cobras towards the end. And I love his comment. Only bad guys have nips. So funny one there. We're going back to comic book bin. He says the classic Duke used many parts and gears from other figures. We could say that technically Duke is the one who borrowed the backpack. There you go. Very cool. And next one on the menu is whoa, that was the first edition of the slides. So now the second bit of slides. All right, this is the one we
yeah,
have Mutton Junkyard here. So some of these slides might not. No, good. Okay, it's clear. I was afraid right before I was about to do the show. A lot of the slides weren't working, and I had to scramble to get them on. But it looks like it just doesn't have the black border. It's got the white one. But we got the Tony renders. Take me through Mutton Junkyard, Chaz.
yeah, well, we already saw it right at the SDCC as a surprise in the Hasbro booth. Awesome, dude. I mean, I I had this as a kid, and I thought, yeah, it was cool. I always loved the muzzle on him, and so I was like, yeah, it's not one that I'm like super excited for. But after seeing this, after seeing the one in the actual booth, and you got all those hands and extra head for the dog, is just, I mean, it's awesome, dude. It's awesome. They did him right. They did him right. They kept him classic, with the mustache and all that, and you still know
Yep.
who it is, but I mean, he just looks freaking badass.
Yeah, Lenny. It's Lenny. It's not Mutt. Lenny and Junkyard. Neil says we need the Saw, Knight, and Hydro Vipers. Yeah, they're coming, man. They're making everything. I think at this point they're so successful.
Yeah.
We're gonna start seeing everything. Junkyard is perfection. Yeah, he said he's the goodest boy at Junkyard, and obviously this is a lot of the stuff we talked about at Comic-Con, so we won't spend too much time. But the hand gestures, for the dog, obviously they're really cool. I think the one thing people are not thrilled about is that kind of just getting Grunt's M16 there and not getting that Mac 10 that he had OG. So that's that's
Yeah.
one deal there. But
That's true. Yeah, the
got,
Mac 10.
yeah,
I love the Mac 10 as a kid. I didn't even think about that.
yeah, yeah.
Bruh.
But that's what I mean, whatever. It's to keep costs down, and then that's a way to get the jump in a Gridiron, man. You know, I know it can get pricey, but then you'll get all your stuff. That does look two-tone though. I'm seeing green in that M16 on the barrel. So, you know, I
I'm
don't
sure
know.
there's
From
a.
my end,
Oh,
yeah.
so I'm sure there's a Mac 10 in one of those Balaverse weapons packs too. So it's a lot cheaper too if you want to do that.
There you go. Don't promote Bobby Vala on my. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing. 2 sets of goggles, and then the pepper spray. We couldn't see that, I don't think, at Comic
Oh.
Con, or it was probably on his person somewhere in the back, but we didn't. That pepper spray is there, so that's a really cool addition. It looks like the goggles, at least one pair, is translucent too. You know, kind of like snow jobs. So
The vest
yeah, I
on
don't
the
remember
dog is awesome, dude.
what
The
what is
vest on
it.
the dog.
Oh yeah, it's incredible. That is absolutely incredible. So
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah, Gridiron Mac 10 all the way, baby. All right, cool. So what else we got going on here?
I'm surprised we
There's
didn't get
a
him up for pre-order, since he was already shown. I'm surprised we didn't go for, but probably on the 1027 event he'll go up for pre-order, I'm sure.
well, yeah, that reminds me. I have a video to put
Yeah,
up.
get a little extra detail in there.
So that'll be something that you'll get to see when we have some diorama pictures available for Quick Kick later to launch pre-orders at, whenever we launch our next set of pre-orders. Or the set after
Whenever
that.
that happens.
I make no promises moving forward, but he will be pre-ordered
We'll
eventually.
pre-order, for sure.
And we look forward to seeing what's going to come next and what you'll do with some of the figures that maybe we'll have available for pre-order next month. Who knows? It's a mystery. Maybe it's something on the larger size. Maybe it's something we've announced.
They're so fun. But yeah, maybe on the largest size. So it has to be junkyard, right? But no, I mean with vehicles. Well, we'll talk about that in 1 minute. But yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe 1027 is where we'll start to see some of these other ones that we got renders for. I say that's the safest bet. And but let's go over the pre-orders of this, and then maybe we'll get into maybe what we want to see next. Quickly, we'll go through some pre-orders. Look, Buzzer was the first GI Joe figure I ever had. I don't know why, but I just maybe it was the only one left. Maybe I just thought it was cool because I'm a brunette and thought a blonde dude with chainsaw was crazy. But I don't know, dude. He looked dangerous and wacky and brilliant all in the same way. And man, I am super thrilled with this one. And then all these accessories are just through the roof.
Yeah, dude. I've been waiting for the Dreadnoks, so I'm like stoked on all of them, and we got Torch in the pipeline too. So we're getting most of them already. So this one's awesome. I love that they did that bat with the saw blade cut in half on each side. Really cool.
Oh yeah, no, that's and they keep Lenny keeps emphasizing that it's a kid's bat, just so like he took the bat from a kid just to make him, he's a Dreadnok, he's a jerk, and the buzzsaws. The chain Sith is obviously from the classic, and then he talked about the removable watch, and then the most fascinating thing in the time that Lenny and Tony and Emily were talking about this was the Kevlar chainsaw pants he talked about.
Oh yeah, dude, that's I didn't hear him talk about that, but that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, no, it's crazy that because I guess he had pads in the 80s, like leftover hockey pads or football pads or whatever, and then he's like he actually looked it up and they actually have Kevlar pants for lumberjacks, or carpenters or whatever. So um, pretty crazy. And I guess the one complaint I did hear about from people when we saw this render was their glasses are different because I think they wanted to go with the welding goggles to make it more like he was saying more like a mad scientist, and he was a psychiatrist and all that. And I think the welding goggle gave him that appeal. So that does step away from retro. But then again, we have the retro carded ones where they take away the classified changes and give give the fans that just want a one-to-one interpretation that. But I like the modern interpretations myself. I like when they classify things up.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think this looks awesome, and you're probably right. They probably just give him a retro card, give him all his old stuff, give him a backpack, because that was another complaint that people were saying, "Oh, where's the backpack? The old had the backpack," and they're saying, "Hey, all the new things like this and the Jaws of Life from Ripper are all in the actual thing itself. So they don't need like a gas can on the back or anything like that. So I'm thinking that that's probably what they'll do. They'll just probably just give them the old school equipment, put them on a card, and then people can have their retro one for their collection too.
Cool. Let's see what are the comments really quickly. Doesn't Big Ben come with a Mac 10? You know, I reviewed it like a week ago, but this last week, 2 weeks ago, but this last week's been a blur, so I'm not sure. You have Big Ben, don't you? Doesn't he have that
Yeah.
Mac? Does he have a Mac 10? I think he does, actually.
Let me look. I'm gonna look on it really quick.
Yeah, I know we got
that's not a Mac 10. No, it's a
okay.
It's a different kind of gun. It's a short gun, but it's not a Mac 10.
Okay.
No way. And it has a little tripod or bipod thing at the end too. So no, it's not a Mac 10.
Actually, this comment reminds me, like, what do you guys think what do you guys think? Oh, you know, well, let's go over the box first. So we see the Cold Slither poster, the drum kit there, the grape soda. You know, he was the guitarist of Cold Slither, so we a lot of people requested maybe like a Comic-Con set of Cold Slither, or I don't know. What do you think?
That actually would be a cool set because it would be something that you don't really need for your collection, but if you're like a diehard and you really want that actually would be cool, and it'd be good for them because most of it's going to be reused, and then you're just going to use throw in some musical equipment, and there you go.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what brands have that. I'm like, did Fortnite? Because I'm like, who had that? I know Mezco just came out with one, but obviously it's a different company. See what else we got. Okay, so that's the Easter eggs on the box. And then here's a look. So we have, about the shade. So I think we have a look without a shade. Or is it just a render? Oh, right there on the left, I guess. But it's not really a good look at it. Sorry, guys. I thought it's high def, but who do you think he represents?
You mean his face? Who he looks
Who do
like?
you think he resembles? I'm saying, yeah.
I don't know.
What do you guys think in the chat? I mean, I heard stuff like, I don't know, it was Jason Isaacs or Hugo Weaving or whatever, like Lord of the Ring characters or whatever. I don't know. I was hearing all kind of stuff, but I'd be curious to the chat to see. There's a great look at him right there on the right. So
I don't know. You wonder,
really...
when they do the faces, you wonder if like they take somebody's famous and they start tweaking a little bit, so it just doesn't look exactly like them, but maybe they use it as a starting point.
Oh, absolutely, because that like Flint, reminds me of what's his name? Freaking the Punisher dude. I know
who you're talking about.
And then we were talking about Robert Redford for a Snow Job, like like a younger version. So I'm sure they think of actors and maybe they combine them, like maybe take two and make them into one, or what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's always that going on. He had circular glasses in the comic. So yeah, there's a lot of there's some stuff from the comic, some stuff different than Sunbow, but it's classified. They're gonna take liberties, and that's the whole point of it. So Philly says Buzzer's face looks like the guy from Tango and Cash with the ponytail. I don't know who that is. Someone look that up. But yeah, the bikes are in the windows. Yep. You could see it more apparent in Rippers. So Super 7 will do Cold Slither and Reaction. But Reaction's tiny. But if they did Ultimates, then that would work. I'm getting a Val Kilmer and Heat vibe. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. John Bernthal, yeah. John Bernthal, that was for Flint. Yeah. I'm saying for Flint, yeah. So but anyway, yeah, let's take a look at him going nuts. And
I think Flint looked more like John. I think Flint looks more like John Cena to me.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I see a lot of John Cena figures at Mattel. I haven't gotten that correlation yet, but you might be right. But yeah, all right, cool. That's Buzzer, and then now his bud Ripper, man. This one is unbelievable.
Awesome, dude. I'm glad they didn't give him a half shirt, dude. That was like that wasn't that cool.
Oh, you mean right here? I think I got it. Yeah, there you go. I put that in there because of Dan Larson's snarky comment. Overall, I thought Dan Larson and Thew did a nice job. I mean, I thought, remember, like the production and directing and all that, that's not on them. They're just presenting. I thought they did a really, really excellent job, but I thought maybe that's all that stuff in the middle that isn't their fault. A lot of that could have been quicker and made the show, pace a little better. Like a lot of that, the fan voting stuff is cool, but there was a lot of stuff in that middle. They didn't need that other. Who was that other guy they kept going to in between? There was just too much going on in between. They should have flowed. The flow of PulseCon was kind of off to me.
Yeah, and I think the fan vote stuff is kind of lame. I don't think it's very necessary. So people just want to see the reveals, really.
But, they're always trying to make a buck.
Yeah. I thought Dan and Thew did a good job. It's a weird name that he calls himself Thew for Matthew, but whatever. But yeah, they did good. I thought they did really well.
But yeah, as far as this Ripper, I mean, I guess something that, let's see if I can see a picture of it. We'll come back to the box in a second. All right, guys, I'm sorry, I don't really have a super close up, but on these at Comic-Con at the render, they mentioned like a iVirus thing that was gonna kind of make us go crazy, and they might have pulled back on that because I think I tried listening to that Lenny line 3 or 4 times and I couldn't get it was almost kind of mumbled. I couldn't really understand. I almost wish he was watching so he could add it in the chat. Sometimes he watches and he leaves comments. But he was saying something about the iVirus, and then he said something we gave him the smile instead or something. I really couldn't make out what he said.
I thought he said that in his, on his eyeball and his iris, it's a happy face. For his iris, I think that's what he said.
Oh, the happy face is in the iris.
Yeah, like a contact. You know what I mean? Like a contact, like probably.
Yeah.
Probably like the yellow happy face. The standard one that we all know. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. No, that's what's up. That's what's up. Okay, so you heard it better than me because I know a couple other people in the community were like, "Oh, I guess they got rid of that too." But unfortunately, these render ones that we see here, we only see the glasses, and then Matt did a bunch of photos, but it's they're maybe you guys can do a magnify to them and let us know what you think. But as of now, we just got these shades on here. But yeah, you said the necklace is full of razor blades, and then obviously we see the jaws of life or death, and then they called it a six sickle on the rifle. And yeah, man, he's a lot better than I ever imagined. He's just so good.
Yeah, it's awesome, dude. They did him justice. So it's exciting, man. When you get these figures you had as a kid, and they're coming in with like the modern, realistic interpretation, and it comes out this good, and you're just, oh, dude, it's awesome, man. It's awesome. You can't wait to display them. You can't wait to get them with all the rest. You can put them with Zartan and Zorana, and then hopefully we get the brother Xander, and yeah, awesome. You can have your own little shelf just with the freaking Dreadnoks. It's gonna be awesome.
Well, I don't know if you saw previous streams where I showed the Dreadnoks, and I had like a bunch of weird Kit Bash characters and figures from Action Force and Marvel Legends.
Oh, I think I saw. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, totally.
And they're all riding bikes, and like they're riding like Bruce Wayne's bike, like the Bat bike and all that. And they're all hanging out with Zartan and Zorana now. And I think I'm gonna have to tell a story where the Dreadnoks kick their ass, the Dreadnoks' ass, and which I'm sure we'll get Vala-verse fans in a rile and a stink too. But check it out in the background. We have Harley Davidson Dreadnought motorcycles are in the back window there. I'll do a little close up right there. And again, same background, which was so cool that they were literally going to war right there. While right after practice, someone came in and pissed them off, and they're ready to go cold slither on their asses. But yeah, grape soda poster, drum kit. Ripper was the drummer too. So cool stuff, man. Just amazing. See, and then here's some of the shots from Matt Cohen shooting the Galaxy. Just badass, man. He's great inkjet face scan too, man. Looking really good, and loving all the spikes, and yeah, it's just sick. So good.
You know, in the boxes now for GI Joe, I think I'm gonna miss them. You know, I was complaining at first because I was in box, so I have a whole collection just in box with the windows, and so I was pissed when they went to the plastic free. But now they changed to this one with the actual pictures. I mean, these are actually really cool boxes. I mean, they're just all freaking awesome. So I don't know. It's gonna be sad and they're gonna go back to Windows, but
Well, we were saying on a prior show they should just put it on the back of the box,
yeah,
like
yeah, that would
the
be awesome.
Easter egg.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because you look at the Black Series and the Marvel box, they're freaking dog shit. they suck, dude. They suck so freaking bad, dude. Especially the Black Series, man. I mean, it's like
Yeah, they're brutal.
dark and like there's nothing interesting about the boxes on the fronts and at all. They just look like crap, and then just get you more pissed off. So, but these are awesome. These boxes are freaking awesome. They whoever came up with this idea, awesome. So.
And then we have some people that are anti-packaging in the chat. They don't care. Oh, I never liked the packaging so much. Oh, okay. So Spec's the one that throws them out, but Vlad's the one who loves them. So I don't even want the windows anymore. So he's in love with it. Cool.
Yeah.
This is all right, cool. So we got Helix. We're getting down to our last three, and then we'll talk about a little bit of what we think at the end of the whole thing. But
Okay.
yeah, we got Helix and we got our interchangeable blades that they said are universal. And then Lenny was talking about the telemetry, and that's why kind of like the blades can be angled at any point because she's like kind of using her motions to detect. She's not blind or anything, but it kind of just gives her an advantage. And then I think the face scan is really good. I mean, this isn't the best shot of it. We saw how it looked in hand with them, but overall, it reminds me of Cyberpunk or something, with Helix.
Yeah, never knew of this character before, but looks awesome. Looks awesome, and those mantis blades are really cool. So, yeah, it's a cool, really cool figure.
Yep. And then I guess the vans that are in the back, the SWAT van that we see, which is really cool because she's coming in the same wave as Shockwave, which we'll talk about in 1 second. That is an Easter egg from her Silent Option comic where she's kind of introduced because she was part of that video game, and then now she was introduced into comics and Silent Option miniseries, and then that's an Easter egg to that. So that's because it looks like she's home basically. You see a house.
Yeah.
And then you see the SWAT van. So really dope Easter egg. So they're really reaching across the whole GI Joe universe with this stuff, which
Yeah,
is
that's awesome. Yeah, I like that they're doing that and creating new stuff too. It's amazing.
I think she's gonna look extra cool next to Parth Vama with the yellow.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So,
And
and
the
she does
face.
already kind of have. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, bud.
Oh, sorry. I was saying the face sculpt is really good.
Oh, it's so good. So we get some different looks. People are fans in the chat, but yeah, it's excellent. Like I said, some of these face sculpts are reminding me of like the old Marvel Legends ones where they're but more detail. But yeah, they're looking good. And I was just gonna say she already kind of has a Night Force vibe to her because remember, Night Force is dark and gray, but then we got Parth Vama who has yellow, which kind of ties him into the Dragonfly. So it's kind of like you could have these two as kind of recon for the Dragonfly or something,
Yeah.
like where they're kind of Night Force, but since they have that yellow, it's like, you're gonna see us coming anyway because we're with the Dragonfly bitches. So I don't know. It's cool, man. Just building the whole world of GI Joe and connecting all the pieces and all the subgroups together and kind of picking and mashing it all up. But she looks fantastic, man.
Yeah.
Then we got Shockwave. If you grew up in the late 80s collecting Joes, I mean, if you were born in 80, you probably weren't able to get, version 1 of a lot of things and even version 2. But if you were kind of getting Joes in 87, 88, 89, this was one of your favorites. I know it had to be.
So I don't ever remember this figure at all.
Yep.
And that I was when I first saw it, I was like, fine, like why do they need like a a riot gear guy. Wouldn't you just call the police if there's a riot? But Joe doesn't make sense sometimes. But hey, whatever, man. It's a cool.
That's the beauty of it. It's not supposed to. If it made sense, it'd be boring. It's cool that it's it is different character. I mean, they have like a guy who puts fires out. You know what I mean? So there's all kind of there's someone there for every task. And that's the whole point of the whole theme song and everything. But yeah, man, take me through this look on Shockwave. I mean, you said you're not familiar with the old character, but just how does it make you feel as a new fan, maybe, or not a fan?
Yeah,
Like,
no,
how you feeling?
yeah, it's really cool. I really like the colors on him. He looks really cool. So it looks pretty badass. Reminds me of like a like a SWAT team member from like the '80s or something like that. With the cap and all that. So, but yeah, it looks really cool. I like him.
Yeah, and the coolest part of this was because this was another one we knew about from before, and obviously like the heavy duty stock of that riot shield. It looks, that's one of the things I wasn't so sure about. And it looks really, really, funny to use the term heavy duty, but it has just such a giant armored look on that shield. It doesn't seem like a flat, trash can lid or something. It looks like something that weighs a lot, but will protect you in the worst battle. So seeing this against the Alley Vipers would be pretty funny with their guns and their shields. But
And
that night,
I like the double
yep.
Uzis, dude. That's awesome,
Oh,
like a
yep.
gunslinger.
Absolutely. Obviously, the police, the nightstick, big boss man style, removable cap. But man, the coolest thing here is that utility knife because they talked about it with that notch. It actually is used to break down doors. So they do so much research. They never claim to be military experts or anything. I love when all the old OG collectors of GI Joe get all mad and stuff, but they do their best to incorporate real life things into this fantasy world, while having fun doing it. And I think this is a good example of that.
Yeah, for sure, man. They do their research, so and like when you were a kid, you didn't like, oh, that's not military accurate. I mean, you just played with your freaking toys, So as me as an adult, if it looks cool, I'm cool with it. I'm a fan of it. So.
Yep. And a lot of people that don't know him think he's cool and may get him, may not. And I guess Tony's saying those Uzis are technically MP7s, but when you're a kid and you grow up with Joe and all that stuff, it's oh, look at my Uzi, whatever. So but yeah, look at these shots. Loving just really cool, little ring light in the dark. It's gonna look super sick, and there's some smoke there, and I love but when we got this one, there's one more. There's a nice look at him without his cap, with the shield, looking really cool. But this shot, when I first saw this, now that I see this, it's clear who it is. I mean, it's
Shadow
it's
Tracker.
the one you got, and I don't.
Yeah, it's Shadow Tracker with the ghost mask. It looks like, or the skull mask. I think it's skull mask actually.
It's a skull. It's a white skull mask. But when I first saw this, I thought it was Road Pig because I thought that top of the mask was the white hair. And then I figured, and then if you look, he has that blurry part is that axe. But I was thinking Road Pig's when he's got that cinder block on the end of his that cinder block weapon, and I was thinking him with like kind of tattoos or whatever. But yeah, now I mean it's definitely apparent it's Shadow Tracker, but I was hoping it was Road Pig when I first looked at it.
What's Shadow Tracker doing in the city, though? That's a bigger question.
Hope they continue to tell the story, but doesn't show on Shadow Tracker's box, I don't think.
Nah.
You have it, right? So
yeah, he's just in the jungle.
Yeah, there you go. So all right, moving on from that to our final pre-order, the General. We got Hawk.
Awesome, home run, dude. Home run all the way.
100%. Lenny said he was setting out to be, the most heroic of the Joes, like World War II. And, he's got the American flag there. And I always thought like maybe they were going like global, but then, with Graves and everything, Grunt, we have the American flag insignia. So that's really cool that we have that. So they make some choices like Retro Duke doesn't have the flag on his helmet, but then you have the flag here on Hawk's vest, a jacket. So, it's interesting when they do use the USA flag and then sometimes they don't,
Yeah, I love the bomber jacket. So he totally looks like a General Patton style, right? So
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, dude. That's some good weapons too. So yeah, really cool. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, he got, what was that, like a 12 gauge shotgun or something? Someone will correct me on
Yeah.
that. But a great little grenade launcher. Um,
Yeah,
has some
everybody's been
cool,
waiting for
cool,
this one, dude. Everyone's waiting for
cool
this one.
looking pistols. 2 sets of goggles. Interesting. Uh, one to
Yeah.
go on, one to go over his sculpt, one to go over the helmet, I'm sure. So
Yeah, like Dusty. So that's cool that they do that, that they're giving you a choice of how to put it on, So you have two, you have a choice. And I hope it's just like Dusty's where if you put it on the head backwards and the helmet goes over it, then so you don't lose it, right?
mm,
The extra pair. So you can put the small pair backwards and then you put
yeah,
put the helmet on, then you put the bigger pair on the helmet like Dusty, and then you don't lose
smart,
the extra
smart.
pair.
That makes total sense too. Yeah, so you don't, yeah, because it's always GI Joe is always best when you can have everything. And then obviously there were some big time Easter eggs with this box. I believe this was the other 2 pictures were taken from Bobby B. And then this was Black Genghis, man, right in the chat. So thank you for these on Instagram. Obviously version 3 Hawk in the sky.
Oh wow, yeah,
And
that's
then I
cool.
believe we have the stun and the triple T.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. I haven't really looked at the Easter eggs or the boxes, so that's kind of cool, man, to see all this. And you know what? I'm not really good into finding all these Easter eggs. There's a lot of people that are like, oh, this is from this cartoon and that, and like, dude, I wouldn't know. I mean, I watched them as a kid, but that's awesome when people are picking these out,
Yeah. Oh, we got some cool friends. I
Yep.
tend to find, I might find one or two. They're just like, yeah, here's all 3. They're very quick witted with that. But here's some shots from shooting the galaxy. But
Awesome.
man, real cool stuff, man. Jealous that he gets to do this for a living.
I know, man.
But he deserves it. He seems like a really good guy. I'm glad Matt Cohen got his he got his praise, man. They had him in the Marvel Legends, they had him in the End of Joe, and he got a lot of time to shine. And even when they were
Yeah.
kind of rushing around and stuff, he got to explain the process behind the scenes. And it's nice to he's a really cool guy and nice and everything. So it's nice to see him getting his shine.
We deserves it, man. These are like the best pictures that these lines have ever had. I think they have to be right. They're so freaking good. They're like
100%.
you're when you see it, it's amazing that somebody could get these shots.
Yep. And it's funny, I was just like, oh, I'm jealous he does this for a living. But man, when I do like a review, like I did my ranking video, it took me literally all day just to open those figures. So imagine how long this takes to get the perfect articulated, posability and playability there and everything with the diorama. And just, yeah,
Yeah,
it's wild, man. This is probably a lot more work than you think. And there's blue tack and glue, and I'm sure he uses puppet strings or what. I don't want to spoil his secrets, but I'm sure there's a lot of work that goes into this. But playing with toys for a living is still cool.
and
So,
not just the posing, but like all the actual dioramas themselves. It looks so
oh
realistic.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah, for sure, man. And then look, we'll go through this mega quick because we're over 3 hours. But PulseCon, did you pre-order one? Did you pre-order 2? What do you think about this set quickly? We've talked about this set maybe 2 or 3 times on our shows.
Yeah,
It's
I love it.
the
I love
Cobra
it.
Strike Team.
Yep, I'm in for 2 every time, one to open and one to keep box for my collection. So I love them. I think it's awesome. I think the colors look awesome. Baroness has the different heads and faces or whatever, and yeah, so I think those are actually heads. I think Lenny said those are actual heads, and the hair just plugs into them. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, as you could see what else we got.
but yeah, it's a fun
Pictures.
set. The colors are awesome, and and it's perfect for an exclusive, right? The people you don't really need it. It's not like Dr.
Yeah.
Mindbender or Serpentor where you have to have it for your collection, or else you're not going to have anything else. It's just a repaint, fun repaint with different scheme, and put these with all your other Crimson figures, and so yeah, it's
Yep.
cool.
And the newly kind of molded and fixed up Baroness, we'll clearly get another one. I don't know if it'll be retro carded, but we'll get it. We'll get her some way back in her black, with this new look that she has here and kind of the new fixings that they gave her. But yeah, I love the mask is cool. That they told a story. Destro gave it to her, and she can kind of see It's almost like it's got its own head scanning and everything. Kind of gives her an advantage, like a satellite look out of that skull scan. And then yeah, she just looks great. The Crimson Twins are basically more or less just straight up repaints, but with some really cool guns. And it's cool because actually, shout out to Leanne Hobbs, who was here earlier when she got those gridiron guns and the gold ones and Tech Nines, I think. So and then had them up, and I immediately switched from whatever they had before to those. So uh, yeah, sick. And then we see Baroness with I thought they had gotten rid of that snake thing, but at least it looks so much cooler now than just straight up gold. At least with the black with like little gold. A lot of people didn't like that weapon, but why not? It's a deluxe set, just throw everything in there, and if people don't want it, they don't have to use it.
Exactly. Yeah, those are the same handguns, right, from the coil set with the. So yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, it looks good.
Yep. And then yeah, that's a good call. The Sunbow.
Yeah, I think blue
obviously
too.
blue would be good. Yep, that blue would be good. But I'm sure we're gonna get like a straight up, Black Baroness with the new tooling there. But actually, before we show up your social media, there was something where Emily and Tony and Lenny ran out of time, and I wanted to go over it, but the person who gave me the notes isn't even watching the show, so maybe next time. So, but dude, 1027's coming up now. I mean, do you that vehicle, right? Emily said something about a vehicle, and I don't want to spend another half an hour. What's that?
She didn't say vehicle, but she said something large, something you may have already been hinted at or something like that. So
okay, well, you want to take a crack at it? I'm not going to spend time with the chat for 30 minutes trying to guess on this, but I'll just ask you, and you can.
Yeah, so I think that they'll. Well, they didn't even announce the 1027 yet, right? But they'll do it obviously because that's what they do every year. But so I think we'll get pre-orders for the digital renders that we just saw. But this is a 5-figure wave, and who is it? The Metalhead is a deluxe, so I don't think he would be part of the 5-figure wave. So there has to be another figure. So I'm trying to look at the ones we looked at. So it's probably be Quick Kick, Big Boa, Airborne, Techno Viper, and then I don't know who else did we see that they've they haven't it might be one of the ones that they did a name only early, but they haven't shown us the digital render. That might be the 5th one, like a Torch, Jinx, Doc. So that might be the 5th one from the wave, and then I think we'll get the Mutton. I think we'll get the Mutton Junkyard Deluxe pre-order.
Yep.
I think we'll get either the Vamp or the MMS, or maybe even both, since they showed them both. Maybe the MMS, because the Hiss is going to come out before the end of the year, so we might even get a pre-order of that, because they're going to strike while the iron's hot when we're getting the Hisses. So that's what I think they're gonna have for pre-order, and probably just those name only reveals. They'll probably just do digital renders of the rest of them: Gnawhide, Night Creeper, the Ferret, the Retro Snow Serpent Eel, Beachhead, and either the other Torch, Jinx, or Docs if they don't show them the actual figure for the wave.
Dude, you're straight dropping knowledge right now, but I do want to call upon this, as some people in the chat said Vamp, and then my first guess was Thunder Machine because of all this Dreadnok love, and then they said it was big, and Lenny brought up Thunder Machine with us, with other people on streams, never confirmed it, but that was something he was very open about. And then I guess the last comment he made about Thunder Machine was that it didn't have to be a HasLab, that he that's not a quote. He worded it in his own way and whatever, but there was some
I asked him there. I asked him in the booth. I talked to him for about probably like.
Oh, so you were actually the one. That's right. You were the one who got this info. Amazing.
Yeah. So I talked to him before because I was there Friday, right? So their panel was on Saturday. So I was in there for like probably 30, 40 minutes talking with him. I was asking him, hey, we're talking about HasLabs. I said, oh, a lot of people want the Thunder Machine. And he said something to the effect of like, well, that doesn't necessarily have to be a HasLab. And then he's also the one that said, when I brought up like the Vamp, that kind of vehicle, and he said, well, I said, those can't be at retail. He's like, well, they could be at retail. He's like, I don't think that rules it out. And then the next day, they show off the freaking vamp, right? So that was really cool. So
how awesome is it? I'm sitting here telling you this story, and you're like, dude, that was me.
yeah, he told me in the booth, man. He was cool,
Oh,
man.
like, yeah,
Lenny's awesome, dude. Lenny's awesome. I talked to Tony for a while. Tony was really
Tony's
cool,
great.
dude.
John Warden's cool. Emily's cool. That
Yeah.
whole team, shout out to Corey. He's not with the team, but he's doing amazing things, teaming up with other folks and Skeletron. And
Yeah.
he's been like making it around the circuits and stuff. So really good stuff. G.I. Joe Classified. Before we let you go, I have to ask you, we gave, what was it? One whiskey each or you gave a half a whiskey for Star Wars? Just to recap.
Yep.
And so then Marvel was 4 out of 5. What about this G.I. Joe Classified?
I would give it a 4.5 because they dropped so many name reveals. They showed us all 5 figures of the wave. The only reason I don't give it a 5 is because we didn't actually see the actual vamp. I thought we were going to see the vamp, like an actual product reveal of it, or the MMS, and because we didn't see that, I got to give it a 4.5. But it was an awesome stream.
Yeah, it was almost perfect. I say almost because we're so used to getting big, like, I think the Comic-Con panel just set the bar.
Yeah.
It was just impossible to top. And that was coming off the heels of the Dragonfly and everything. So I will say, man, this is tough. I think a 4.5 is a great score, but I'm going to go 4.75. I was originally going to go 4.5, but after talking about this for well over an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes. Just how awesome is this? We're talking about one panel for an hour and 40 minutes. Their panel was like a half an hour. And then the other panels all together we talked about with for an hour. So it's like, yeah, they're killing it. They're owning it. They're, I don't want to say that saving Hasbro and all that because it's above everyone's pay grade to know what saves Hasbro. It's like, what saves Hasbro is media and money and all that. But as far as the love from action figures in the community, it has to be G.I. Joe Classified because we have people like you and I who started off Star Wars. We got people in the Marvel Legends community making this is their favorite line now, or whatever. It's just going crazy. G.I. Joe Classified is just cannot be stopped for the money that they charge for these things.
Yeah, and the way is that like on Instagram, stuff like that, people have their names and their avatars with like Star Wars names, avatars, and they're like huge Joe fans now. So it shows you just how much it's growing and how many people freaking love it now, man. It's awesome.
It's incredible, and I would say yes. When they were rushed, that took away the 5 for me. And I would say not showing I was thinking the Vamp or MMS as well. Maybe even showing a ferret, like just showing anything vehicular, showing any vehicle thing would have made it a perfect 5. And then they kept talking about. I love what Kyle Peterson did when he did. My buddy Kyle, when he broke down PulseCon, he was talking about time and time and time, how they talked about time so much that they lost time talking about time. So it was kind of like they were all over. I think it's just right from Transformers on, it just went over. And before we go and salute Chaz for being on, we're going to have episode 138 this Wednesday. It will be a PulseCon aftermath. So if these 3 hours and 15 minutes or whatever weren't enough for you, the rest of PulseCon that we didn't cover, plus some rankings, will be this Wednesday. So Transformers, Power Rangers, plus more Joe rankings and all this stuff will be coming Wednesday from the team. So stay tuned to that Wednesday, 7 p.m. From a Toy Kind of Mood. But man, Chaz the Guru, this was fun to have you on, and you're quite the podcaster, my friend.
Oh, thanks, dude. I appreciate it, man. It was super fun, and it's always fun when you're talking about new stuff. So it was cool that it just ended, and all this new product are on people's minds, and people want to hear about it and talk about it. I know I do when I see a live stream, and then right after I'll listen to everybody's live streams after that because I just want to keep hearing about it and talking about it. And so yeah, it was awesome. Well, thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it,
dude. Awesome, and I'm glad. I think we had the most epic stream of all the GI Joe Classified follow-up. So and a lot of the planning came from you, man. It was a collaboration tonight. So
yeah,
major
awesome.
props. Major props, go follow the meme king of toys, action figures, at Chaz the Guru on Instagram. I'm at Trav Moody and at A Toy Kind of Mood on Instagram. And we are A Toy Kind of Mood every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern. And now it is at night for A Toy Kind of Mood at night, episode 14. I'm Travis Moody, and we'll see you in the toy aisle.
Peace.
Peace. And I can't find the thing. There it is.